Oh, what a weekend.
So?
Weekend of, bro, I'm in such a good mood because of that series, man.
Same.
Such a good mood because of that series. Oh, I can't believe people, when I saw the Rotten Tomatoes and I hadn't watched the episode yet, I was like,
1%.
It's really good, man. It's a really good season of TV.
See, season 1 got 100%.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
Not surprising. Season 2 would have as well, no?
Season 2 was like 99.
Right. So it's just decreased in rating.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy because season 2 and 4 are really good seasons of TV, man. Summer is here and it's not leaving us alone, bruv. This heat is so peak, man. How are you coping with it?
It's nice and cool in here, though.
Today's nice in here. Yeah, nice in here.
Cool.
One part the other day and I got bitten quite a lot.
Did you?
Yeah, man. I've been bare itchy ever since. My legs, particularly, and parts of my hand. But yeah, it's kind of jarring. I need to sleep well because of it.
Oh, man.
That's annoying.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world.
Do you sleep with like a fan on?
No, I don't sleep with a fan.
Yeah, try not to, you know.
I don't sleep with a fan on.
It's not good for you, man.
My bed is right next to my window, so I try to crack open my window. But I got a lot of stuff by my windowsill.
Yeah.
So I don't want to open my window all the way up because I feel like we can start falling on people's heads and then I get down for manslaughter.
Okay.
How big's the shit you got on the window?
I live on the 8th floor. It doesn't have to be that big.
Oh yeah, that's fact.
Okay. Okay.
Like, he's been good though. Like, I've like semi enjoyed it. Like, if you have like a long day, it's long. Because if I'm like sweating for like 12 hours, long day.
What were you doing that made you sweat for 12 hours?
I feel like most of my activities is going to meet people somewhere, and then like just that journey alone is just enough just to make burn up time.
Especially if you're on the central line.
Oh my god.
Oh my day.
Awful line, man.
I actually think I think Bakerloo's worse. But who the fuck, you know, if he gets to Bakerloo?
At this point, they all stink covered in Elizabeth in terms of heat.
Lizzie
Actually,
is
no,
fantastic.
The Met line's cold.
I've never I have no reason to use the Met.
The Met line too.
Hammersmith City line goes to like Westminster.
Okay, so no.
As you read.
No, I thought you
Basically,
I don't use no Met line.
What's it, Edge of Road?
yeah, well, very good.
That's so racist, man.
That's crazy. Yeah, you. I don't even want to give you a blind though. I can't, so you can't even get back at. I'm sorry, I can't.
She said what? No, definitely not.
That's crazy. Well, let's crack on today because it's a big day. It's a big
I
day.
didn't realise we started until you guys started talking. I was like, wait, they're actually talking.
Yeah, it's a big day today. 2 important projects have come out in recent days, which we're excited to dive into. Yes, we are the PostCreditscene Podcast, a 14 HQ original, lovers of film, TV, and theatre. Back in the stew. Big one today. Manny, how are you?
I'm fine, Mr. 20,000.
Hey, 20K.
That's a good. You know what? That's a good flip. You know, that's a good flip. Thank you.
How does it feel?
It's cool. No, it's nice, man. It's cool.
What's it, road to 30?
We'll
celebrate 21 anyway.
I mean, I'd say so for sure. But it's also just like, you know, when you meet people through like a thing like that, and you can like build connections with people, talk to people about.
Like so far.
In terms of what though?
Everything you've done outside of this. I feel like you're always really busy, and I love it.
I've met some really cool people, man. Yeah, so like Jay, you know Jay already. Like he's on like 300k or something on TikTok.
I had a really bad fan-ish moment with him.
Oh, how did it go?
Okay, so
This may be good.
but the thing is, I don't think he thinks it's funny. I think he just thinks I'm weird. So like, for me, it's funny.
There's no
Okay.
way somebody thinks you're weird.
I mean,
Right. Okay.
oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I clocked it. So yeah.
I first saw him on TikTok, and I followed him straight away. I'm like, he's so cool. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I was going through like serial and everything, and he followed me back. I was told guys was like, yeah, he's cool people. So I think guys, no. He followed me back. This is a big deal for me. Then I just thought he was shorter in real life, but he's actually much taller. So when I saw him at the Last of Us thing, he was in the lift with someone else.
Yeah. You saw him?
I think I've met him before, like in passing.
Yeah.
That's the first time I actually met him properly. So in the lift, I think I'm on the phone to my friend, like, I think that's someone that I really like, some TikToker that I really like. And I think he heard me. I didn't, yeah. So I got the list, I sat silent and just look around. But also I was following them because I knew he was going to the Last of Us.
Dark skin guy.
Scott.
He's super
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
typical.
And then when we get there, guys is like, meet him properly. And it's like, James, and I was like, hi, it's really lovely to meet you. He was like, yeah, I just saw you in the lift.
I swear
So he definitely heard me.
That don't sound like you. That's weird.
Yeah, so he definitely heard me.
You also met him at the Christmas film that we watched.
No, he weren't there for that.
He was there.
Not for that.
Film?
The Chris Evans one that I didn't like.
Oh my gosh, Red Note.
Yeah, I didn't like that film.
Red one.
Everyone, that's it.
No, but you know when you meet people like that and they're like, you got big numbers and that, but you're just super down to earth and cool.
Even though he had big foot.
Yeah,
He's normal.
He's just a normal guy.
Their followers aren't normal.
But he came up to
The
me
guys
and was like, "Yo,
never
yo,
stop
man,
being
good to
normal,
see you,
okay?
da, da, da." And I was
Go on, so you finish first.
no. He's look up, please.
No, I was just saying I can't change because it's got this. Anyway, you won't let me, so yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, just as long as you're still normal, that's what that matters.
I'd like to think I'd be normal, man. But you know, it's cool, it's nice, and just hopefully me and the pod as well continue to grow, man.
Grow to 30k.
Because you know what it is as well. I was speaking to Hashi, funnily enough, because he congratulated me, and I said to him, I wouldn't be able to do this without the people that I'm around. Do you know what I mean? So the pod, 1, 2, Manny's a spinner. No, I'm being super serious though. Manny, 2, like proper, always like uplifting my work. 3, Ken, who like I didn't have a relationship with him last year, but proper like nice guy, gives advice, critiques, etc. So you're nothing without your community. So yeah.
You know, I can't like even like we were talking about when we saw the post yesterday at work, and we were like, bro, it's beautiful to see. Like,
Appreciate it, man.
We were all like, that's the goal for like everybody here. You know what I mean? Okay, for like it's the point. If we can affect 5% of what you do, that's wavy. You know?
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, run it, bro. Keep going strong, and we pray safe for everyone else, man. You know what I'm saying? In this room.
If I congratulate you on 21, that you're gonna be like,
I won't be a you. But then Bisola, how are you?
Yes, you're gonna be the exact same person.
exactly. Because I congratulated him on 13k.
But it's never intentional.
No.
I think it's like I have a Carmy effect, but I don't even mean to be
in my defense, yeah. Remember I said he's gonna hit 20k really soon, yeah.
Did, yeah.
And I said 13k because I want to get there before you hit 20. So I know you congratulated you along the way, and you were like, doesn't really count as a number, not really.
No, it wasn't like that though. Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
It was like,
No, what it was, I said like milestones are like 5s. You go 5s. Like you don't celebrate the 13. You celebrate the 15.
Why not?
You can.
You deserve it.
Okay, but I wouldn't.
You got one day he was on 10. The next day I saw it, he was on 13. Is that not progression? That's crazy. Is that?
We've been on like 3.9 or 3.8 or something for so long. But when we hit 4, I'm screaming.
Fair.
I'm celebrating everything.
No, you
I believe in celebrating everything.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Bisola, how are you?
I'm really well. Surviving. Back from Paris. Life is.
Did you get up to anything naughty out there, pal?
Obviously.
Well, I turned 25 out there.
That deserves a round of applause.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. My first Fet de la Music, and first time I DJ'd at Fet as well.
Come on, you've been like booked and busy though.
You've been on fire, bro.
I know, glory to God, but I'm exhausted, guys.
Is it because it's like festive season?
Summer is always a really peak period of
Yeah.
time, but it's the earliest it's been this peak.
What do you prefer doing, DJing or talking about film and TV?
I love it all. To my children.
To be fair, like I think
Everyone's got a favourite child.
Real parents do.
yeah. Makes most money. You know what I mean? So,
You'd know. You're probably your mum's favourite.
I am my mom's favourite.
So yeah, everyone's got a favourite child.
I'm not.
Shocking.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Your sister
I heard
probably,
what your
right?
sister does.
Yeah.
I heard what your sister does.
Your
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like she's my favourite as well.
My sister is
Because
the.
it's not you or your brother.
Yeah.
Why not his brother though?
Wait, firstly, you have a brother?
I have a brother, yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely your sister. In fact, I don't know you have a brother.
Yeah, that's bad because I didn't know you had a brother. So you're a piece of shit.
I have an older brother, yeah.
He's
That's
even
peak.
older than you. Yeah, it's definitely your
That's
sister.
bad.
It's your favourite.
Yeah.
So it was good. You had a good time.
I had a great time. Everyone should come out next year. It's so much fun. I'm gonna throw a party out there next year.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah, Fête de la Musique, and Paris smells like absolute shit, guys.
A shithole.
It smells like absolute shit. Like it smells so bad. I'm surprised. Like recently walking around, I'm like, do you not smell that? Like, how do you guys not smell that?
They do. They're just like used to it.
Yeah, I do think you get used to your environment.
I don't think I can get used to that. Third day out there, when I came back to London, I was like, London smells good. Is that not crazy?
That's crazy.
Is that not crazy? I was literally on a Victoria like that. This smells fantastic.
Okay, yeah.
Can you understand the standard?
Yeah, that's peak.
Yeah, the metro smells like shit. Someone's in the corner shit. I don't care what it says.
All right, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
At every corner in Paris.
100%. But yeah, I was in these streets till like 5 a.m. Do you know what I missed? Yeah, I
Public
missed
service.
the no sound restrictions. London open air events stuck because you have to be out of there by like 10, 11
Yeah.
because someone's gonna complain about the noise and da. But out there, we were on the street till like 5, 6 a.m.
This country is notoriously conservative in terms of not just politics but behaviour and the way we
super.
conduct.
It sucks, man.
So
Like, we could all be smiling if we were on the streets till 5 a.m.
Oh, facts.
Yeah,
A
but
sound system on the corner.
you were
I
north.
don't know, you know.
A sound system on the corner at 4 5 a.m. will be happier. I promise you.
I think this is the gap between us because I actually kind of like being at home kind of early now.
No, but it's not about I've been outside. It's having the option to be outside. I
Like,
think that's the difference.
You can't do it at all in London.
Yeah.
Fairs.
Yeah.
Fairs. Huss,
Oh yeah, tell me.
how's things?
Yeah, good man.
Yeah?
Good. Been a busy week. Funnish week.
Have you been up to?
Those are the right questions to ask as well.
Yeah, that was a great question, but now you put me on the spot because I haven't done much and now it's kind of boring. So here we are, man. There was a few screenings during the week. I didn't go to any of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say because they're in the group chat. So I know you didn't go to any. So I don't know why you're gonna lie.
To any of them, but I was just it was busy times. But good busy, man. Like there's somebody painting my office right now. He's painting it white because we're doing a renovation. It's gonna be really, really cool. So.
Change of environment always.
Change of environment into our busy season as well. So we thought, why not motivate staff to?
You, yeah.
This guy is fucking M&Ms.
Last week we were podding with Eli. Good episode, by the way. Eli was really good.
No, Eli's really funny. I don't know if I'm laughing at the right moments. But
Please, just be careful what you say.
No, I love him. I do love him. I commented on the TikTok.
Yeah, you did.
When he was like, I'm trying to start something, then proceeded to start a bunch of stuff. And I was like, I love a little messy babe as well.
Do you know, so jokes, each clip that we put out with him, it's just got like bare interaction with a good or bad, like someone's got something to say, which is cool.
I think he's so funny. He's hilarious, guys.
My favorite thing as well is that the wave of support that we've got for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I feel so vindicated. Like, is that the right word?
Vindicated is a word you can use for sure.
Yeah, I feel so vindicated. Yeah, I'm using that from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And like, I'm so gassed.
Vindicated.
Vindicate your first
From Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's kind
Remember?
of crazy.
Do you remember?
Thank you.
Remember what happens in Brooklyn Nine-Nine was
It's his word, Holt. Okay, when he proved Jake right. Okay, he goes vindication.
okay, that's more understandable. But vindicated is like a very normal.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing.
Oh, okay.
I like the word though because it's not used like often.
Yeah, but the fact that he's like,
But
from
it's
Brooklyn
referencing a TV
Nine-Nine,
show.
as opposed to like from the dictionary.
Don't you just have words you like?
No,
Yeah, but
facts,
it's
like,
not
fun.
from
I shout,
Brooklyn
guys.
Nine-Nine.
I wasn't actually really trying to support. I kind of went into my own lane. You know, we just have words that are cool to use.
Yeah, mine's nah.
You can't. I can never think of mine until I use them, and then I
Yeah.
use them, and oh yeah, man.
got a
Albeit
favourite
it's
phrase.
mine, but that's more.
What's yours?
Albeit.
Oh, be it, yeah.
Not bad.
When you're writing, I can imagine. Imagine when you're writing, use that as well. Kim.
Like the
Educated.
like the hood one that's used quite a lot is like furthermore.
Yeah, that's a hood word.
That's a hood word.
No, because
Furthermore, yeah.
The furthermore
Furthermore, yeah.
version of the hood version of furthermore is tutus.
No, furthermore is the word.
Furthermore's the word.
Oh man,
Bro, they'll get angry
Tutus.
and then to sound smart.
You say- no, you say both.
They'll go furthermore though.
Not back to back, but they'll say furthermore and they'll also say
Furthermore,
tutus. But they'll say furthermore is like a commonly used word.
Thank you.
Hood was that?
It's a
yeah, I think it's
They're
a very
well read.
common use.
Most people are actually well read anyway. Like,
Yeah.
they're the smart ones.
Yeah, but this
I
is
don't
not. It's
know about
not.
Where was you going?
This is not America.
Okay. Well, we've got a really tough task. We've got to split our time into half and talk about two of the biggest projects of the year that cross over into different mediums of the art form we love in film and TV. Kids, please just don't drop any. Yeah, he dropped them in the last episode on the floor. His M&Ms.
You're grown up.
It was peak, I know.
Then you can actually hear like
What M&Ms are they?
The crispy one.
crispy.
Oh man,
The best one.
They're the best ones.
they're not.
It's the best.
You're a peanut, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, I could tell.
You
I haven't got a nut allergy, so
You
yeah,
have an allergy?
I haven't got a nut allergy.
Okay.
So you got to enjoy pussy.
Yeah, she loves these nuts.
Okay, so F1. F1. One of the biggest films of the year, biggest budget of the year, if not one of the.
Is it?
It's like a £300 million film,
Fuck off.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
and you can kind of see why.
Yeah.
You can kind of see why. It was a film I was highly anticipating. You guys, how did you feel prior to the film coming out in terms of were you looking forward to it? Were you not? So I'll start with you, and I know your reasoning, so I'm just gonna let you take the floor.
No. It's not even on a horny tip yet. Obviously, like the obvious things. I find Damson Idris, Mad Hampson, like obvious things.
Yes.
But I really do like his choice of projects. Bar that one movie he did with Captain America. I think he's. What's the movie with Auntie Mackie on?
Oh,
Netflix?
the one on Netflix, where the sci-fi army thing.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
Okay,
but
but that one.
kids are sorting that out. But I just can't remember. I remember not enjoying it when it came out. Yeah.
Outside the Wire.
That's the one.
Yeah, I really didn't enjoy that movie.
I didn't mind that film.
No, but I think for the most part, he chooses really good projects.
Yeah.
I adored him in Farming. You guys know how I feel about Farming.
Yeah.
Farming's one of my favourite movies. He doesn't say much. That's why I realised that he's such a good actor, because I think he was so cold in Farming. And like Snowfall.
He's very expressive in it.
Yeah, Snowfall and then Swarm. Like everything he's chosen along the way have been really, really good. Even his guest appearances. So I was excited for F1. In particular, he's talking in a regular British accent. I was really excited to hear that.
Same.
Like, because we haven't heard him in that, for me anyway, besides Farming.
Oh,
Like,
so
we
gas.
actually haven't
Oh,
heard
so
him
gas, yeah.
speak normally in ages. So that's what I was really, really excited for. The thing that sounds nuts, but that was holding me back from watching it, if anything, was Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. But can I just say he had a generational performance?
I hear you, but like I just wasn't. I wasn't.
Look, save that.
He's just saying things.
Save your dispute.
Generational performance.
Save your
But
dispute.
Here's my thing: is like I'm not looking forward, because I don't care for Brad Pitt. Like the last thing I watched Brad Pitt
he'll care
was
about
Once
I
upon a
think-
time.
no, it was Wolves,
Oh, with George Clooney. That was mid.
and I couldn't get through it. I just didn't care for it. Like
That was a film that they made as friends.
Yeah, I was kinda like-
you could tell.
yeah, but even that, like I don't care the premise of it. I didn't enjoy it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So yeah, I was looking forward to it for Damson, and also I remember I had this conversation when we talked about this earlier, that I didn't care for the film because I was like, it's gonna be too much F1, and I don't watch F1. And then now I've watched it, I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to watch F1.
Yeah.
Like I'm a huge F1 fan.
It was
like-
a great advert.
No,
was a great
fantastic.
advert for it.
Apparently, it's not that much like F1, but I don't trust F1 watchers because Lewis Hamilton is a producer in it, and I feel like he would know.
I think we'll get to that point of conversation. So I hear you. I think one thing I will say with what you said about Damson is, and we spoke about it, it's cool to see a young British actor on a big scale, on a big blockbuster, because we haven't seen him do that yet. We've seen him do Snowfall, and we've seen him do other things, but this is a completely different realm.
Own it as well.
And it requires a different kind of skill set, because you have to really be able to own the screen and be part of the screen. And I think what we'll talk about later, I think he kind of grew into that. So yeah, it was cool.
Also, shout out to Samson Kale, man. Honestly, I didn't even know he was in the film.
Cash man.
And when he walked out, okay, and I was like, oh, what is it? So like, yeah, that was.
He's doing big things. He was in House of the Dragon last year as well.
Yeah,
It was really cool. I think he's been in something else I've seen him in.
I think
He's in an animated series as well.
he was also in Eddie Murphy's Haunted House as well.
Okay, cool.
He's killing it, bro.
No, it's really cool. It's really cool to see people that, you know, you either grew up around or you might be in the vicinity of, doing good things.
So awesome.
Manny,
Yes, sir.
I'm interested in your thoughts, because I wouldn't put this down as like a typical Manny film per se. I know you're open to different types of films. I wouldn't have it as like your criteria or your go-to. How are you feeling prior to?
Like I'm looking forward to watching him. I wasn't like super excited.
Yeah, for sure.
More so excited for Damson Idris, because obviously UK actor. I really think he's a really good performer. One of our best male actors around that age group, anyways. So I'm excited to see him lead or co-lead such a huge film. And that's it really. Like beyond that, it wasn't really like I didn't really care.
Yeah.
Beyond that, if I'm being completely
Fair
honest.
enough.
Do you watch F1?
No. One of my friends is trying to force me to get into it. We actually had a deal. She kept up her end of the bargain, and I didn't on my part. And I actually do need to watch at least one F1 game.
Cool. The film is directed by Joseph Kosinski.
Ignore it. There's no one even like.
Yeah, the film's directed by Joseph Kosinski, who worked on Top Gun Maverick. And if you've seen Top Gun Maverick, you can see the sort of transition of the work that he did there to this film, I think, because from a sonic and visual perspective, this film is incredible, and we'll get into that. It follows Sonny Hayes, played by Brad Pitt, who was a young, exciting sort of F1 driver. He got into an accident during his sort of promising days of his career, and he quits. And then 30 years later, he meets up with Ruben Cervantes, played by the man Javier Bardem, who I thought was great.
Oh,
in
he
the
was
film.
so good, man.
Persuades him to return to F1. For me personally, the storyline itself throughout the film wasn't like mind-boggling. It wasn't like that interesting to me per se, but the character interactions and how immersive this film was what really did it for me. What did you guys enjoy about F1? We'll start with you, Hus, because you didn't come, so you can tell us how your experience was from your perspective.
I guess say, I said yesterday, I'm so glad that I didn't go to a screening.
Why?
I feel like when I went yesterday, it reminded me of what a cinema experience what it was. It's the beforehand, you get your snacks, you laugh by it. The trailers, okay, go in there. If you're sitting down, I had really nice seats as well, okay. I just fight for them, you know what I'm saying? I pre-booked them. And then, like, you know, if you get to watch it, and the person that I was with, like, we were like super in it together. Do you get me? And then, like, afterwards, we just, us guys, we talk about it. Like, the whole 4 hours were just really, really nice. But, like, the film topped it off for me. Like, I went into the film kind of like Manny. It was like, I want to see it, but I had no expectation. You know what I mean? All right. But I'm gonna say this. I know it's gonna be clipped. Don't give a fuck. Okay. I think it's my favorite film of the year.
Man said I know it's going to be clipped. Like he's not going to ask for it to be clipped.
Don't give a fuck. No, I'm not. Yeah.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. I think it's my.
And I already
favorite
can see it.
And
This is going to be the first part of the clip, and it's going to fade into the transition.
Yeah.
Then we're going to talk about the film, and then he's going to say it again. I've already pictured it.
Yo, the person that I was with, I said it's my favorite film of the year ever. She went, chill. Sinners is still here. I said, yo, I think it's my favorite film of the year. Okay, I was standing on business, man.
Is that clacking to you? Is that clacking to you that I'm standing on business?
There's two things that I look at with films, okay, as like us guys being like collective film bros, okay, like it's the storylines, the plot lines, okay, the way that it's directed, the visuals, blah blah blah, everything that we kind of if we look for. Then there's just the feeling. There's just a feeling of just like, how did the film make you feel, and that is it. Right, and F1 wasn't about the storyline. It was just how it made me feel. You know, I don't know if the petrol from the cars was going into my nose or something. Okay, but brother, let me tell you now, yeah, I cried twice. I cried twice.
Wait, why?
Wait, let me land. Okay, I cried twice.
Okay, but I'm
Proudly,
asking you.
Okay,
No,
and
Hassan, what was the moments you were crying?
don't worry. I tried to hold my tears back, yeah, because I was like, I'm a fucking man, yeah, fuck this shit, yeah. I tried to hold my tears back, yeah, and then on my mother's life, something happened, and all I felt was,
Was it when the car exploded?
and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even mean to cry, and I was crying. Can we deep that? I didn't mean to cry, and I was crying.
That's Pitt's aura.
Twice. Aura.
That's the aura.
Bro, it's aura, my brother. Okay, twice.
By the way, he was aura farming heavy in that film.
Bro,
He was
bad.
aura
No,
But he's
no,
bad.
he wasn't.
But he's
No,
bad.
I actually don't think he
Yes, he
was.
was.
Oh my god, twice.
What I would say is my experience was like throughout the film, I was kind of like,
The adrenaline.
don't know if you saw me, but I was proper like leaned forward.
Yeah.
bro.
You're engaged.
I was really on the edge. I felt like I was constantly be like you're waiting for something bad to happen, then it happens, then you're like, something bad's gonna happen again. We don't want it to, but it's like the battle of it's inevitable, but it's also like, please don't.
Yeah.
Like please don't. So when his car like toppled over that time and it's silent, also the sound in that film disgusting. We spoke about this.
Yeah.
It was actually like it was disgustingly
Yeah.
good. When it went silent, when the car was flipping, I think everyone was like,
I think
all gasped, and one guy on the back was like, no.
from a technical perspective, and I think this is where the film really excels for me anyway. Sound design was incredible.
So good.
The score from Hans Zimmer when it comes in was really good.
Yeah.
They had a really good soundtrack for the movie, which didn't have all the same sort of sounds. There's different sort of sounds across the.
The soundtrack itself, though, the actual album, when it came out, yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, this is nonsense. Did you guys see that the track list?
Yeah.
Right.
Rich and whatnot.
Roddy Rich, Doja Cat, Tate McRae. Tate McRae was my final straw because like we're just doing a whole bunch of nothing now. Like this is just no. It's like everyone that can sell, and I was like, this is nonsense. There's no cohesion here whatsoever. Listen to the whole album. I was like, oh, it's gonna be the greatest movie ever.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so good. Like,
It really works for the movie. I think visually, the way they were able to capture sort of different camera angles and different perspectives of the racers, of the crowds, of the racing team, the guys behind the scenes who are working in the team
I
as
felt like I
well.
was part of the team.
And I felt like I was part of the race at times as well. And I think the overall experience from a visual and sonic perspective was probably the best of the year from my perspective.
Camera angle in the race where it started raining, right? And like what I loved about that race was Sonny was ahead of the pack. He was third, right? And then he's obviously telling what was Damson's character called?
Joshua.
yes.
JP.
Yeah. He was saying JP, yeah, yo, follow my track, yeah, and then I was like, oh my god, he's saying it because he's making it dry, so that he can go right behind him, right? Number one, that's fucking cold, okay. And then obviously like, and then they switched the camera angle, yeah, to his actual view, not like the car's view, but his actual view, and it was the split between the two holes that you can see from, and just the water hitting. I was like, that's so fucking sick. It's like I genuinely felt I was in like a simulator. Do you know what I mean? And then I felt like I was saying to JP, brother, stay behind me, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like I was locked into it. So locked in, and like I was like grabbing my leg and I was grabbing chairs and everything, bro. Oh, man.
One of my favourite shots was the ones from Straight On when they kept covering it because they were like, it was literally on the steering wheel.
Oh yeah.
They kept covering like because it just made me so anxious because you're that close to me, but it's like, do not hurt yourself. Yeah. Please don't hurt yourself. Like my heart is racing.
Every corner in it.
Like every corner, I'm like, and they're turning mad harsh. I'm like, please, like, no, that's slow down.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, Formula 1, 70 laps. When did that start?
Yeah, it's been a thing forever.
I beg. I would have. Honestly, I thought it was one.
That's why they lose so much weight during the races.
Also, I was like to them, I'm thinking, guys, just drive faster. I thought it was one lap. I was like, just go faster. 70 laps.
Also,
drive faster.
I don't know if this is the thing, okay, but I do think that I enjoyed it more because I'm not an F1 watcher. I'm an F1 enthusiast, right? So I've watched Drive to Survive, obviously. Okay, so I know the politics. So
you watch F1.
This guy's such a loser. Oh my god.
What? It's 7 seasons, but 7 seasons, by the way.
I'm asking. So you watch F1 like TV shows and films, but you don't watch F1?
No,
Yeah,
wait.
You know, you're saying the right thing, Manny.
Because of Drive to Survive, okay, I've watched like F1 seasons with Jace, Charles, blah, okay, and we like keep in touch, okay. So like, but I haven't for the past season and a half. But I stopped watching the season that Lewis got done. It was like 2 years ago.
That hurt me.
Yeah, that
I
season.
don't even watch.
Bro,
See,
I watched the whole season, you know. I watched the whole season.
Number 8.
But listen, because of a Netflix show, I knew the politics and how the teams get picked and how everything fucking goes on. So watching that season, I was more emotionally involved because I knew how he got there. Right? So now
I didn't know they had teams, you know.
Yeah.
That was even new to me.
But see, that's my point. Now that I'm thinking.
So when they were like, to join the team, I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna kick Joshua out.
So okay.
So I thought it was one person per team, innit? I was like,
okay.
Because Lewis Hamilton is the face of every brand he goes for. I didn't know there's more of them. If I was the other people on his team, I'd be pissed off.
Yo, so
tell them to get good.
So
You know what? Facts.
So if we check this, yeah, like a couple years ago, okay, Jace.
He's busy. Can you actually focus on what you're saying?
Cool.
Locked in.
A couple years ago, okay, there was two races for Mercedes. It was Lewis and Nico Rosberg, yeah. And the problem is they're both wavy drivers. You're supposed to have like a number 1 driver and a 2 driver that's either super young or kind of like old, just like ass, right? And but fucking Nico had won like 2 Grand Prix, so he was locked in already. So he came to his team. Almost being like, well, I'm gonna pip Lewis to this thing in it. All right. It got to the end of the season, and Mercedes have the number 1 and 2 spot, like as in Lewis and thingy Nico, and it got to the point where like in the last like couple races, they're telling Nico move out the way, let Lewis pass so we can win the championship.
Which is kind of what you see in
right?
Joshua Pierce and the
going like, nah. I mean, he's like, brother, move out the fucking way, and you can hear Lewis on the fucking radio screaming. He's like, what the fuck's he doing? Do you get me? It's a mad thing, yeah. And then obviously he eventually moves, yeah, safe. Boom. They fucking celebrate. Wow, boom. They go into the back room, yeah. The number 2 hat is on the fucking table. Nico is sat in the corner. Lewis picks up the 2 hat and dashes at him. And when he dashes it back at him, there's a whole thing, bro. That's got 100 million views.
This is your, you know when you say, I love the tea.
Yeah. Yo.
No, I'm invested. That's how I'm listening. I haven't said a single thing.
Watch Drive to Survive, yeah? It's a reality show. It's not F1.
Okay,
it is a reality show. Okay?
You should have started with that.
That is peak. Bro, listen. Season 7 starts with one of the biggest owners. Biggest principals. I think it's Ferrari, okay, or...
Principals?
The team managers, basically. Principals, team managers.
Yeah. Okay. He was sending nudes to an employee of him.
Oh, that's Red Bull.
Yeah, Rebel. Yeah.
That was Jerry Halliwell's man.
Like influence,
Oh my
right? And then check this. For 2 episodes, it's just following him, going from interview to interview, trying to be like, it's not true, da da da. And then not only that, okay, is that once the interview's done, they're still following him. Netflix are just following him, so you can see his live reaction to be like, fucking hell, this is a lot.
What's on Netflix?
Yeah,
Download
man.
it for my journey
So
home.
look, I make that long ass point, okay, just to be like, because of all that, yeah, watching this made it so much more immersive for me. I'm so glad that I got to see like a fictional story and somebody kind of like create something that everybody can enjoy. But I enjoyed it more because I was
You're an enthusiast.
Yeah.
By the way, that's Jerry Halliwell's geezer. So, for that, yeah. That's the context and tea. I think
Sorry, I'm so sorry, guys. What season did you say it was?
It's 7.
706, yeah, 706, yeah.
I think one of the reasons why this felt like so immersive and like real is well, from what we know now, they shot this during like a lot of the real life F1 races during short breaks.
Sick, man.
So like I think from Abu Dhabi to Silverstone, Mexico City, there was a few others as well that I've missed out. They shot them during the breaks and they had like short windows to shoot these races in.
Yeah, man.
Impressively, Damson Idris and Brad Pitt both drove the cars themselves.
Yeah.
That's mad, you know.
Sony and Mercedes teamed up to create cameras that would fit into the car without adding extra weight. And then I think Apple also created a camera that would work as like a broadcast, because you know when you're watching the F1 the broadcast, that you can't use those cameras in the film. So Apple Apple used their camera facilities to use their camera instead. So like the amount of work and effort and time that's gone into making this film to make it as realistic as possible was great for me. I think where people had issues with it not being real F1 is more some of the conveniences of the stories, but that's just cinema. I think, bro. And I don't it's not me making an excuse, but it's the reason. It's like this is storytelling, and it's like you kind of have to add a bit of drama, you have to add a bit of suspense to it, and I think that's the way they decided to do it was. And I get where F1 fans are coming from though, because you know they want to see something realistic to them, when really this is about making F1 palatable to the masses, to everybody.
They've got me.
And it works for you. Yeah, it got you locked in.
They got me so like. I walked out. What's the first thing I said to you? What season do I start with F1?
So
where do I join?
So the thing with the Apple side with the iPhone was to create high quality point of view footage from inside the Formula One cars. So that's how they use the iPhone cameras.
But you see the scene that where it's towards the end where like Sonny and if he's saying to them they're both not sacrificing. Like one of them has to sacrifice so Lewis can defend, right? And then obviously Sonny then goes ahead and does that. That was like this film wasn't apparently like emotional, but I think because of the adrenaline of it, okay, like that for me was such an emotional scene. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I was like, how can this make me feel like this? It made no sense to me. There was a scene with which didn't mean anything fucking much. It was like the race off before the Monza race, and it was when he was getting all the red flags and stuff, right? And then Sonny is trying to do the same thing to Max Verstappen, who's obviously a fucking legend, right? And then, but he can't do it to him, and I love that because he says, okay, nah, he's too good. Yeah. Okay, do you know what I mean? Okay, and that's real. Like,
Max is cold.
Max is cold.
Is that
how many real drivers?
All of them.
All of them are real. All of them are real. Did you see?
Because I knew Lewis. I didn't know anyone else's name.
All of them are.
So.
As in, you see,
they had every team.
Like,
yeah.
So you see every time he like stared down a driver or spotted him. Well, those are real drivers. Like Marcus Alonso. I was like, oh my god. Like, they're saying no words, but
because I was on Reddit heavy after, but I thought people were capping, but they were like, people were saying that it was real drivers, but I was like, only Lewis I know.
No, it was real drivers. They added Apex GP as like an extra team. It's meant to be 10 and they added 11.
Do you know what I found really funny? So obviously the movie took like 2 years to make, and apparently the first part of it, was them trying to get clearance for all that product placement.
Red Bull had a lot of issues.
Really?
There was so of course, because the thing is your team can't lose. You can't be like on TV known as your team that's lost.
And Red Bull didn't want to be seen, because their reputation in real life F1 is to be the antagonist or like the dark team, if you like. They didn't want that to be represented in the film, because the makers of F1 worked with Mercedes to make the story. So they were like, well, how are we going to be depicted in this movie? So that's some of the politics that went into the film.
Yeah, it was a lot. But do you know, I realised that how heavy the product placement was immediately, because the opening shot was an AirPods Max. And I just couldn't stop laughing because I was like, oh, I know what this is gonna be, and it was just like it was littered.
They must have got
with
gifted
branding.
loads of shit. Oh,
Yeah, like it was littered.
give me some
with branding.
AirPods, man.
But even like Tommy Hilfiger, everything in there, I was just like, this is like Damson's character, Joshua Pierce, was only wearing Tommy Hilfiger, even down to his trainers, and they very rarely put like trainer shots in there because your trainers are never really like confirmed and stuff. All the politics behind the movie, I understand why it took 2 years to make, because half of it wasn't even filming; it was just trying to get clearance of it.
But it does represent F1 well though, because F1 needs so much money to actually happen, because obviously the oil costs so much, okay, the cars cost so much. The drivers have 15 things on them, so do the car sometimes. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, like it is like a lot. I think the average price of like each car is like 80 to like 200 mil. You know what I mean?
How much do F1 makers make? Drivers, sorry, make.
Lewis is on a 200 mil contract.
No, but he's different though. He's like what's a rookie? What's a Joshua Pierce making?
What is a Lando Norris making? But no, but he's a rookie, but he's also cold. Yeah, they're
Yeah, Hamilton. I'm never gonna get him. I need someone like a rookie. What's someone that's coming up in the ranks making?
Oh, she's trying to scout.
I'm trying to figure out what like. You need to
Where you can start from.
You need to sow your wag seeds everywhere. You can't just start with football. You got to.
Here we go.
Say base salary is 20 million annually.
God damn it!
Orlando.
But deeper.
Who? What's his name, sorry?
Lando Norris.
What
What does he look like? Can you spin the camera? The laptop around, please.
He's actually like Chunks' boy in the man. Like he does like fucking.
I'm good, thank you.
Content and stuff.
Okay.
That's that.
Manny,
Yes, bro.
one of the themes of the film for me, which was used through, I think it's used through Kate. It's used through Dodge. Dodge is the black guy.
Love him.
It was used through Jodie, who was the young girl. It was teamwork and the importance of, like, even if this is an individual sport, how important team is. Was that a message that came across, like, to you as well throughout the film? And in which moments did you see that, if so?
Yeah, definitely. I think the scene that probably showcased that the most was when Sonny was talking to Kate in the pub.
Oh, yeah. Good seeing that.
And then she said something on the lines like, "I'll listen to you when you win a race." And then obviously,
No, when you
finish the race. Sorry, and then obviously he was trying to tell her, like, "Oh, this is how the car should be done, so we can improve." And also, there's a scene where JP fucks up because he was a bit insecure. I know I didn't state it, but he was being a bit insecure in terms of after he come back from his injury.
Oh, yeah, he was a sport brat.
Yeah. And then I think he messes up one race, and then Sonny just flips out on him. He's like,
Yeah.
if you want to mess me, that's fine, but you can't, like, everyone else is putting a lot of hard work into this. You can't be fucking them over as well. Like, that's way too selfish. So I think that sense of, like, a community, or that sense of this is actually a group effort rather than individuals winning the race. I think that was, like, the song throughout. The film is that you can't just win it by just driving.
No matter how talented you are.
No matter how talented you are, there's so many other components and so many other things that people need to do. Even like when you stop at the pit and people have to like sort out your car.
If they're not locked in, like Jodie wasn't.
They're not locked in, like it happened in the first race.
Yeah.
JP's car drove over that piece of machinery and it slowed it down a little bit. It's just a group effort, and did appreciate the fact that.
and it proves that the half second counts. Right,
and every second counts.
Yeah, every single improvement. Okay, they're fighting for around 10th of a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's so pivotal. But Sonny was like positive reinforcement. Okay, like let them know. All right, cool. This is good, because they've probably been hearing it all season, because they've really lost like 9 in a row. So they've probably been hearing shit all season. Right, so, and who's the owner again, sorry?
Ruben Cervantes, Javier Bardem's character.
Yes, so when he first hires, he says to him, like, straight up, like I'm not hiring you to like win. I'm saying
I'm trying to get on the podium, basically.
But but to build a team, because you can give them like a focus and a fucking goal and you know, and blah blah blah. And towards the end of that, okay, that's what he done. You know, like it was like, we don't have to follow the fucking norm, because we've got a shit car, we've got like a shit position, blah blah. Let's switch it up. Do you know what I mean? And then there was a line that he said that I think JP goes, all right, cool, we'll do plan A, blah blah blah. And then after that, just hope for the best. And then he goes, hope is not strategy. You know, and then I was like, don't cry, man. That was pretty cool.
I think
the aura was making me cry, man.
I think there were 2 other scenes that like lean into the teamwork though. It was one where one character in Kate who Without her, the car doesn't improve.
What accent did she have, by the way?
She's Irish.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, she's Irish. Through her character, you get to see the importance of the collective. And then there was the other scene. There was two scenes. It was when Brad Pitt starts jogging and the rest of them start joining him slowly.
Oh,
joining
so
him.
sick.
And then by the end of the film,
Yes, when his character, when JP comes back and he makes them all go on a run
Mad
together.
emotional.
I was like,
and I think it was like he's learnt from someone that's older than him and wiser than him.
Yeah.
But he's also decided to make that step himself, and I think that was a profound moment
I
of
think he
them.
first starts that with the tennis balls.
Yeah, when he picks it up, yeah.
That's when I was like, he's learning.
because he was trying to do the little reaction thing that wasn't working.
Yeah.
One thing that did bother me though, he didn't have any burn marks on his hand at the end of the movie, and it really grinded my gears because I feel like he should have had some.
Okay, get it.
Oh, Gears. Yeah.
Lisa.
Calm.
Yeah, I really want him to have burn marks. Cause like, if you were in,
Because it would have made it secular for you.
huh?
Would have been
Oh, so she
sexier
wanted
for
to
you.
commit to the
No,
role. That's what
just
it is.
like,
Commit.
yeah. How is he getting?
Because
Because he was in a fire. He was just in a fiery car. When he's in the hospital, they're wrapping his hand. I'm like, so he's got burn marks. He should have some burn marks. No, it was just like a minor thing. It's nothing crazy. I was like, he got better way too soon. All that stuff is normal. It's a movie.
What's
I
the
don't
guy say?
care.
Yeah, his mum was on crud, you know.
So I wasn't on my point. So he should have just had burn marks by the end of it.
You said your point then.
Biss, I got another alley for you though. From my perspective, I didn't feel as though Brad or Damson, more so Brad initially, were the standout performers in the film. But I do think Damson grew into it. How did you experience this film in terms of those two sort of co-leads? And like, I was really impressed. The further the film went on, it felt like Damson like felt accustomed and comfortable in like a big blockbuster. But how did you?
I feel like he was in it from the jump. I think JP as a character wasn't meant to be in it. Do you know what I mean? I feel like he's meant to be. He's a rookie. He's a bit standoffish. He thinks he knows better than everyone. Like, I feel like he was just like, do you know I'll go to work on a Monday, like they ask you what you did on the weekend. Oh, nothing. Mind you were at DLC Malta. Like, you were out of the whole country. Do you know what I mean? You just don't say what you've been up to. I feel like JP was given that. I think by the end of it, he's ready to be part of the team.
So I agree with you there, and I don't disagree. I just don't. I personally feel like he like grew into the film, both Damson's performance as well as JP's character. I think
it's just JP's character. I feel like Damson's performance meant that JP's character was getting into it. I feel like he was given what he was meant to give. For me anyway.
Yeah, cool.
And I think I wasn't sold on their chemistry at first, him and Brad Pitt, but then it got better
It grew,
because it actually, they got along, or they started to get along, or they started to understand each other a bit more.
Yeah.
So I think they were both given what they were meant to give for that moment in time. We were meant to be a bit unsure.
But even in the moments where they were like going back and forth and being a bit sharp and diggish with each other, that was fun. So like,
It was.
Yeah.
like when Damson was mocking him for being an older man, blah,
Do you know
blah,
what my
that
favourite
stuff
part
was
when he was
funny.
like, you're like a swan, yeah. It just felt so improvised, yeah. Because it
What's a swan?
looked like he caught him off guard. It's like, you're just such a swan. He's like, what's a swan? He's like I can imagine being like, shut the fuck up, that's not the line. Like, that's what he gave, and I was
That's
like,
funny, though.
this was perfect. Like, this was a level of comedy that was necessary for this really intense moment. And I was like, stuff like that made me just believe in Damson's character, believe in Damson as a whole. But I could be, because I was so excited for this movie, I could see that as well.
Different perspectives, man. It's cool. It's cool.
Brad was also very.
All right, you do your thing, because I don't think I thought he was okay.
Brad did enough. I think he did enough for me.
I think
Yeah.
Brad gave a Will Smith, King Richards performance.
No, we're saying things that never been said before.
I thought I agree with you. I think he was good, like base level, good performance.
I think he's a good actor, and do you know, it didn't make me walk away and be like Brad Pitt fell off. But I would say this year, I didn't find him handsome before, and I found out his age the other day.
He's leng, bro.
I don't know.
He's like top 3. Pause.
He's good looking.
No, I didn't think he was. He didn't really move me before, yeah. Then I found out he was 61. I am so extremely moved.
He's good
I
looking.
couldn't, because I thought he was just like,
He's beautiful, man.
40s, it will do the job. Like, we keep like uplifting white men that are just mediocre. Yeah. I was like, oh my goodness, he's actually really handsome. But yeah, Damson is Damson Lewis Hamilton. I told you that one scene. I slapped Manny's leg. I said, Manny! Pause it! Pause the
You see when they
movie.
were looking at each other?
They were going face card for face card. He's
Yeah.
dumb. I sat up. I said,
I know exactly what's
bring him
going on.
back! Bring him back!
What I think the film did well, and I know there would have been restrictions to doing this because they have to put F1 in the most positive light possible, is the way they used. I think the character's name is Peter, but it was played by Tobias Menzies, who was like one of the owners of the Apex GP, and like the way the film dived into like corruption, but did it in a way which was like funny, whilst not being too obvious on the nose, because I know they have to make this look as presentable and palatable to like the masses as possible, right? But they still did it in like a humorous way. So his character was quite dark. What he did was nasty.
But it didn't feel like a Formula One problem. It felt like a sport problem.
Yeah, but
That's what made it.
once you watch Just Survive, you realize that it's a full-on issue.
Okay,
Do you know why? Because each team is potentially worth like billions, right? So the problem is if you're just losing money, right? When 80% of teams are making money, okay, is that like you can be sold for around half the price, but then those people can come in, change 3 things, just like a driver, team principal, and car, and then be fourth. Do you know what I'm saying? So they know that it's like a worthwhile investment. So it was a very real problem that they did actually bring up. You know, it's just that there's not a lot of sales that go on in F1 because everyone wants to stay in F1. You know, and the reason why it's such highly paid is because there's not 5,000 athletes. There's 20 drivers. You know, so yeah, so there's 20 drivers, but then obviously you see Katie, those simulators and the science, whatever. Those are like 10 mil, like
the machinery. Everything looks expensive.
It's
but
ridiculous. Like it's ridiculous. So like yeah, like,
as for me, because obviously I haven't got the context of F1, so that's why it felt more like a sport problem. Full stop.
Yeah,
but he did feel like a dark character, but it just didn't feel. It felt quite like high.
Yeah, for sure.
And everything.
It was comedic. It was done in good taste within the context of how they want to present F1. And he's a good actor. Like I've seen him in Thrones, seen him in The Crown. Go on, man.
Yeah, my favorite acting scene.
Oh, go on.
Was him and Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt was about to Sonny was about to get into the car to drive off because he had his accident. And then Sonny just essentially exposed, it was you that gave away the
documents.
Documents.
Yeah, and the facial expression, I thought was the best bit of acting throughout the whole film.
And I think this is what I mentioned to you two. I thought Javier Bardem, Kerry Condon and Tobias Menzies were the best performers for me personally. I thought Bardem was brilliant. Like he was my favourite actor.
I was gonna say, okay, I think that Bardem was the closest person to the audience. Like if we were to match how we felt throughout the whole thing, he was the closest person that we felt like we were just with him. Like, oh fuck,
he never lets me down whenever he's on screen.
He was really, really good, and he was like dramatic at the right times. He was stoic at these certain times. Okay, and his
why are you laughing?
Oh, there's a scene that pops into my head.
Okay.
Oh, we would see.
It was when them two had sex. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nah, do you know what Manny says to me?
Let Gas say the scene when he can say what's
It's when like he comes to the door and then he's like, oh, he's there, isn't it? And she's like, no, he's talking about and she was like, he's there, innit? And she's like,
he's on the back.
yeah. It was fucking funny.
So Manny was like, that's how I'm gonna be when I catch you and Gaz.
Okay. Oh, I caught that.
That's good TV.
I caught. That's funny.
That's good TV. Good.
That was good.
Clip that one up.
How can you waste clips like that? Like, we're meant to inform people about the film.
That was jokes.
Favorite races. What were your favorite races, Biss? Or favorite race?
You know what?
Biss Manny?
Okay, my issue with the final races, I didn't want Sonny Hayes to win.
I thought the final.
I get it.
This is how I knew I was a hater.
It didn't make sense for thinking.
No. Facts, but it's not real.
No?
It's not real. Like,
Exactly.
the way it ended, I'm happy the way it ended.
Like, I'm not angry at all, but I
But-
wanted.
JP win.
At the time I did, but when Sonny ended, it's like,
Because
okay,
I don't
makes
want a
sense.
second film. I don't really want a second one, but a second one.
Who's doing the second one?
If it does really well, yeah,
They will do a
they'll
second
do a second one.
Why?
If it does really,
why?
Come on, be serious
Have
right
you lived
now.
on the rock the last 30 years, bro?
No.
I don't want a second one. Please don't make a second one. It was so good.
my point is,
I can't lie. Give me a
a.
Damson second. What?
This is my point. Like,
With who?
can you let me finish my fucking point? Okay.
They're talking as well.
No, it's you. So, the reason I didn't want him to win is because then it opens the door to a second movie that I'm not completely like sold on. I don't care for this story that much. But here's my thing. I understand why he does. But JP should have won. Sonny Hayes, like, it would have been great if he just assisted the win. Like, and even that's in that JP coming out of the car, like, cheering him on. I'm thinking, oh, it should be you, man. It shouldn't even be Sonny
It's
Hayes.
a team game. That's the whole point of the film.
It's
the
not-
whole point of the film. Okay,
But it's not a team game because I
so
only know
everybody
it's
wins.
not a team game. It clearly isn't.
How's it not a team
Let me
game?
tell you why. Because Lewis Hamilton, I know him. You guys talking about some other guy. Who the hell is that? That's not a team game.
No.
That's not a team game. Who the hell is the other guy? I don't know him.
Nico won championships.
Who is
He
Nico?
won.
No,
Who's Nico?
Nico's cold. I can't lie.
No.
cold,
But who?
bro.
No, I'm not saying he's not cold. I'm saying who is that?
Yeah, but
I
that's
don't
because,
watch the
that's
sport.
because Lewis is black and
Oh,
he's,
shut your mouth,
and he's
because-
handsome. It's black
Mate,
bias again.
if you
This
name- I
podcast
can't-
is just black bias and
I
Basola.
can't name 10 players
I'm with
on the
you.
Lakers, but I can name
With me, right?
LeBron.
No, I'm with the soda with this.
You can't name Luka Doncic.
I can't name. I know because of the tea that happened last time, but I know.
It wasn't even tea. It was
it was tea. That was big tea.
That
That was
was the
big
most
tea.
dramatic thing that's ever
That
happened.
was big tea.
I didn't
Yeah,
clock.
I've seen
I
that.
know because I was reading it. I was thinking, this is what the guys are like. Going help, like they're going crazy
big
for this.
tea, that was big
But that
tea.
was big tea. Yeah, cool. I could name
Clock it.
LeBron. I can't name 10 other players.
You know
I
what?
can name Lewis Hamilton. Who is Nico? Me and Nico in the room
She's
together.
even saying
I don't know
that-
who he is.
No, I'm with Basola because I don't care about F1 as well. I'm the exact same, but bar Lando and bar.
So we
and
know
Lando
more then.
because it's on my TL.
You know,
That's what-
you know
that's-
George Russell.
No, wallahi, I don't
Who
know
the
that.
hell is George Russell?
I know Michael Schumacher.
If you told me, yo,
I know because of
Marcus
that. I know because of the
Marcus
surname.
Lonzo.
oh, if you
Marcus
told me- if
Lonzo.
you told me that name, I would have said he's a basketball player.
Marcus
I would've said
Lonzo.
that word for word.
Marcus Lonzo.
Well,
He doesn't know
No.
anyone. Leave him.
Max Verstappen.
but yeah.
Everyone knows Max.
No, but
Everyone knows
the
Max.
Who the hell is Max?
Oh, come on now, bitch, you're boying it.
No,
No,
but
I'm
it's
actually
like,
not. Guys,
You see why you should, let me land. You see why you should know Max? He's T.
He's
No,
empty.
but
No,
Gary,
he's
as
just
in-
T. He's
Okay.
he's a
As
piece
in-
of shit.
As in, he walks around looking for shit to start.
He's a piece of shit. Yeah, he's the biggest piece of shit in
No, but he hasn't
F1.
done it successfully because I would know if he has.
Trust me, the reason why Lewis didn't win that time is because of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Should level that, guys. Come on, like.
like,
Partly.
as in, like, he was sacrificing himself. Okay, just see.
The reason why Lewis didn't win that time is because he got fucking robbed by the association.
Yeah.
That was one of the
Justify
biggest
that,
like hit
No, I'm
jobs
gonna
I've
watch
ever
it
seen
now.
in sports in general.
You know what kills me about that? Because there's other drivers that keep saying, yeah, Lewis has eight championship. Yep. Because officially he has 7.
Yeah.
But because everyone knows he got robbed, the drivers are saying, no, he's got 8.
Oh
He's got
yeah.
8.
Because
Basola.
isn't there someone in a coma right
clock
now
it.
that doesn't want
Mark
to?
Schumacher.
I don't
Schumacher.
know who that is.
Oh, because they don't want him to outdo his.
So yeah,
Correct.
so
Thingy.
yeah.
Schumacher.
So
How many does Michael have?
7. They both have 7.
They were 7.
Do you think they'll ever give Lewis another one?
No, well, listen.
Lewis is done.
was about to win, and then got roped, and then since then
So is
hasn't
he
been
done?
closed.
He's not playing.
He's still
not
playing,
No.
but
He's not as good as him, and the team he's at Ferrari have fallen off.
The
Because
cars.
I know he's. I know he's.
Yeah,
in
the team's
Ferrari
falling off.
now.
it's unlikely they will get an 8th.
Wait, no.
But everyone keeps saying like that's not the
The
first time I've
cars.
had 8
Yes.
either.
Thank you. The car will come back. The car will come back, and Ferrari are arguably the biggest.
But is he still on the
F1
podium? 'Cause I feel like I still see
He's
him.
still racing, but he's not as good as he used to be.
He's still like first, third, fourth, sixth, eighth. Do you get me?
But if you're still
As
first,
good as he used to be.
No, but you have to win the whole series.
Being first once isn't going to win you the championship.
but how many do you win before? Because you're not going to win all. How many of them?
You're not going to win all
Oh, so
races.
you're thinking of
Oh.
individual races, not individual
No.
Because I
races.
see him win. That's my point. It's like I'm- I feel like I'm
Wait.
missing something.
So it's essentially if you win a race, okay, you might get like 10 points, right? So at the end of the season, sorry. 25. Yeah, 25 points. Okay.
There's a big difference, by the way.
That's so funny. That was so funny.
I was trying to do it in a.
Don't.
No, T did his thing.
On my mother's life, I was trying to.
Don't simplify for me. It's fucking numbers, bro. No, don't patronize me. If it's 25, it's 25.
All right, okay.
Say the number
25
25.
points, okay. Then okay,
You
so
use me as inability to know.
So
Fuck.
obviously, okay, from position 1 to fucking 10, okay, there's different points. If you're like dead bottom, it's 0 points, okay. So at the end of the season, whoever has the most points wins the whole championship, right? That's why each team has 2 drivers, because you can accumulate multiple points.
But who then gets to go? Who decides that who goes to go on?
The driver who specifically has won the most points.
Ah.
So that's why there's a 1 and 2, because if the 2 is good enough, they can stay close to you and then raise the point level up, right? But if the first one is like second, and then the second driver is like 18th, it's pretty ass.
Have they
You know what
ever
I'm saying?
had someone that's been like number 1 and someone that's been like 20th?
Yes, all the time. Yeah. That
Oh, it's
happens a
common?
lot.
Yeah,
yeah.
specifically with Red Bull. Red Bull
Yeah.
always go, because Max Verstappen, you guys talked about him. He's probably the best driver out.
Right now, yeah.
But his second driver is always ass. Their aim is always to get somebody who's within the top 10.
Top 10, yeah.
But they are so bad. So I think Mexican dude, Sergio Perez, I think he was like 18th or something like that.
Didn't he leave Red Bull?
He left. He
Yeah.
left now. But like, I'm talking about last
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
season before that. Where
Because he wanted like a bigger role as well,
he
right?
wanted a bigger role because he had a pretty good season. But yeah, literally. So that I think the last championship Verstappen won, he was kind of like at the top, whereas like Sergio Perez was somewhere near the bottom. But they didn't win the team championship because
Exactly.
the second driver was just doing that.
So when Lewis was beefing Nico, correct me if I'm wrong here, they were going to win the whole championship like 4 races early, right? Or something like that, because the point level was so low, because Nico was a dope driver, so he was always there, like second or like third. So then that's why they told him to like get out of the way because either way, Lewis is going to win either this week or next week. But we can do it now if you just move it away and let him finish above you. You know what I mean? So it's all like small shit like that. But yeah, so
Was Nico racing for Ferrari or Mercedes at the time?
He was
Mercedes.
Were there any issues with the film, guys, before we wrap up this part of the pod?
No, it was no. People keep
Yes,
complaining
no.
about how long it was. Yeah.
Oh no, it's fine.
I didn't really mind the length.
I didn't feel it per se.
It didn't feel like it was 2 hours 36.
One thing for me, okay, was that my favorite part about the film was it was meshed in with. So it was a lot of duo conversations. Like a lot of the dialogue, okay, was it was Brad Pitt and the girl that effed up. Okay,
Oh, the good fit.
Oh,
yeah,
Jodie.
yeah, him and Kate. Javier Bardem and obviously for Brad Pitt, the team, for principal, and like it was all like just two people a lot of the time. Okay, I thought that was wavy, but what I didn't like, okay, was the placings. Sorry, I didn't like the relationship between Damson and his mum.
I loved it because it felt very realistic. Because I felt like she was, quote unquote, the replacement for Simone Ashley. I'm gonna say something really controversial, yeah, and I don't think I'd ever say this out
Run it.
loud. Also, I'm saying something disgusted. I didn't think the movie needed Simone Ashley.
It didn't.
Damson Idris did not need a love interest.
It didn't.
Because it would have fallen.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
I agree.
Okay, but I don't agree with men.
I'm glad that when I said I agree, though, she didn't say it. It's only when he said it that was cool.
That's what I'm saying. Bro, she hates us, bro.
No,
Good.
you know,
Guys, I'm not hiding that. What the fuck?
it's yellow card. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No, it's one of those like.
He said yellow card. That's what he said, though. That's not me. That's what he did.
Crazy.
Wait, what?
Anyways.
Oh wait, he didn't.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I thought you meant.
He was the.
I thought
You can't repeat that. You can't repeat that.
I thought you.
Wait, what?
I thought you meant.
I thought you meant something else.
Yeah, I thought you meant something else.
Anyways, back to
know.
what I was saying. Yeah. Back to what I was saying.
Crazy.
It would have been the focus of the film would have been a love interest and Damson trying to like juggle his work life, JP trying to be a good boyfriend but also be present but also be this, like to focus on relationships, whereas the one relationship he has with his mum is quite realistic, of like a mum that wants his son to succeed. Even when he baddies up Sunny Hayes, when she's like, yo, like why the hell did you tell him to do that?
Show them accountable, man.
Yeah, she's just like, you're not like, what the fuck, my son could have died basically. Yeah,
Yeah, but she was like, "Yo, I'll put you in the bed next to him," and then he goes, "Sure."
Yeah, because Sonny Hayes is a piece of shit. He is. But I think, do you know what it is? Yeah, I think he actually understood what she felt
Yeah,
in that
yeah,
moment.
of
I
course.
think he actually was quite understanding, but also just a bit tapped. But I do love that Simone actually wasn't in it for that reason, because I might not have enjoyed the movie.
And she might not have had much depth. She would have just been a
She
piece
would've
to
been-
his story rather
and
than
I
having her own
pissed me
story.
off,
And
she
it would have been.
like a vehicle to drive on, like his
Yeah.
ambition, as opposed to her own character.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And,
Whereas mum was allowed to be that because that's a parent.
my favorite scene with the mum was when she made him say sorry. That was fine. That was
She was quite a parent. It's like,
And also when she fancied, when she was like,
yeah. The bad print moment. That was funny.
that was good.
handsome boy.
Let's do some ratings. Out of what do you guys like, 5s or 10s?
I actually hate rating movies, you know.
Fair.
I don't.
5s or 10s?
Tens.
Tens.
We do it at the end of the year. innit? So
Okay. Manny, do you wanna go?
8.
Yeah. Would you? Horse.
9-1.
Be so long.
8.5.
I'm gonna go 8.5 as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, typical. I know. Yeah. I thought it was a great film. Really enjoyable. Really immersive. Good. It's like what I'd want from a summer blockbuster. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did its job.
Handsome
And then some.
I'm so proud of them.
Aesthetically beautiful.
That's
man.
a sexy ass lineup.
There was a shot that I had that I really liked, is when they were, but also the color scheme was kind of brazy because they kept wearing black and white.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it again, maybe try to understand why that was the reason. But there's a shot that they had with Kate in the middle, and they had Sonny and JP on the side when they're playing cards in it. But the reflections were also on the background, so it's like there was 4 of them and Kate in the middle. I thought that was such a great shot.
Oh, was that when she tricked them into coming into the
Yeah.
meeting?
Do you know what? Also, one part of the thing I really liked here, it just felt really natural. I felt like a normal conversation I was like eavesdropping on when JP's talking about how much he's like, oh, he's a prick, but he's fast though. And I was like, that wasn't written. That felt like very improvised. And there's tons of moments like that made the movie just more.
Who was he talking to at that point? Was his mum?
It was either his mum or
Cashman.
yeah, Seb's the character. Cashman?
That's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cashman.
Catch me.
Well, we've got another task to do. Jason, are you ready to substitute yourself in? Shall I say?
The bear.
How long left do you have?
You're in episode 10.
Just join in.
You're in episode 10.
Yeah.
Join in.
10 more minutes.
Join in and watch. You can do both. Jump in. Yeah. Substitution.
Bye, guys.
Hussam in for Jason. Well, I think we have on our hands here
But I want you guys to go.
potentially my favourite series of the year or season of TV of the year.
Yeah.
And I don't
Crazy that you didn't say ever, but it's okay.
and I don't take this.
I knew you were going to do this, man.
But
You're not disgusting, by the way.
I'm fair. And I'm not saying that on the basis of, this is just me being, a fan of the series. But season 4, more than all of them, made me like feel something throughout particular moments of The Bear. I haven't made people know we're talking about season 4 of The Bear, which for me, I really love the series, but season 4 for me was like high quality television from like so many different metrics. You could pick out so many different reasons as to why it's so good. How are you guys feeling going? Jason, you might as well take the floor on this one because you ain't got long here.
Oh, yeah, apparently.
How are you feeling going into season 4 off the back of season 3 and the way it wasn't necessarily as adored as the previous two? This one obviously would have then had a lot of pressure on it to be a success and to sort of bring the series back to form. How did you feel?
Okay, so on a more personal level, obviously I had no doubts that this was just going to carry, like, well, if that makes sense. I, like, go on about how the ending of season 3 is my favorite episode, and I was just like, okay, cool, so we're just gonna pick up where we leave off. For 4th season, do you know what, like, I'm currently struggling because I still haven't finished the season yet. I've still got 10 minutes left of the last episode, which this last episode is fucking incredible.
Crazy TV.
Yeah. Has probably my favorite line of the entire show. Nigga, who cares right now?
Told you.
Nigga, who cares right now? Like,
Why am I hearing Ayo say the word nigga?
She said it before in that season 2.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, but it was like in the midst of an argument. Someone posted on Twitter the other day.
Bro, she said it. I know you haven't seen the episode.
I think it's the first time she said it with clarity. I think it's the clarity that's got everyone.
But she doesn't
Because
say-
in like they're all just shouting at each other. She's like, oh fuck, like she's it's like in passing.
I know you haven't watched the episode, but when she done it on this episode, I was so spun.
You can tell it's isn't it? That wasn't real.
I was shocked.
Nigga, who cares?
Because I feel like that was the first conscious moment I ever heard that the word in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. But
I was busting up. I can't lie to you.
this season is absolutely fucking incredible. Like, I think it is probably the best directed season out of all of them. The shots, the framing, especially for Scallops.
Yes.
Which scene are you talking about in particular? Because there's a scene that I remember I spoke to you guys about.
When Carmy and thingy
Richie.
Richie.
Carmy sat down and then
Blue.
Is that it's just that right there.
That,
Sexy
and
as
then
fuck.
obviously the beginning of the episode as well with Ayo just making her scallops.
Yeah.
Is that the third episode?
I don't think it's that.
That's not the first episode when she's making
No, the third episode.
Third
Third is scallops, right? Where she
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
cooks her
I
3
scallops.
scallops, 4 is warm.
And then, like, I think, like, that particular scene as well, it's just kind of, like, exemplified the show for me, where I was just like, oh, man, like, they really romanticized the idea of cooking, and I think that was, like, the perfect time. Like, the purple lighting on Ayo, she looks beautiful in that scene.
Oh, is that the opening of season of the episode when she's in the purple?
Yeah,
And
in the
like
purple.
everything we've seen before was blue, but it was like focused on her instead. Which was
Focused
cool.
on her, and then the way she's just in her own world, and it felt like she was cooking in her head, but obviously she was kind of like cooking in real time, if that makes sense. But like, I genuinely like fell in love with that scene, and I was just like, wow, like, this show can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Episode 7 as well.
We'll get there. Let's start with Groundhogs. Episode 1.
Yeah.
I was like, you made a really good point, which we'll get into. But episode 1 for me was brilliant because we're in season 4 of this series, but we're still finding out things about the characters that we didn't know before.
Yeah.
Francine.
There's still layers.
Francine, oh my days.
Because I had to Google it. I was like, I haven't been locked in. Clearly not. Because like, who the fuck is
She
Francine?
hadn't really been referenced before.
No. Then I realised I'm not the mad one.
Yeah, you're not.
But I was like,
I did the same thing, by the way.
there's this thing, with the bear, sorry I cut you off, but every season starts almost out of context, but you don't really know what's going on, but you know what's going on because you know the characters, but they're just saying things that have never been said, and you're like, when did I miss this? And it's like, oh, it's gonna get revealed later, just hold on, wait a second, then it gets revealed by next episode.
No, I thought like we learned in the first 10 minutes of the episode so much more about Carmy and his inspirations as to why he started chefing in the first place. Whereas before we would have had just the perspective of it's a release film, it's an escape, etc. Or he's just doing it to appease his brother, or to reach the heights that his brother, you know, he wants to please his brother, shall I say. But really and truly, we learned that his father loved this sort of Irish restaurant, and he saw that his father was happy in the restaurant. And he saw how happy people are when they're in a restaurant. That's his inspiration. That's something we didn't know in season 1, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
We also got to learn about Mikey, who started what business did he do? Was it cars or something?
Cars, yeah.
Yeah,
like we just learned so much more in those first 10 minutes, just through pure, honest dialogue between Mikey and Carmy. And John Byrne, just one thing on John Byrne. This guy doesn't even feel like he's acting when he's in these scenes, bro. Like he feels like a real human being who's having a real conversation with somebody else. And it feels like, I felt evasive at times. I felt like, well, I'm not meant to be here in this conversation. But I love those two, Jeremy Allen White and John Bernthal, whenever they're on screen together. And it's only short moments we get. Yeah. Beautiful moments, man.
John Bernthal is one of those actors where you can bounce off really, really well. Because and he can become the lead, even though he's not the lead, you know, by trade. Not the lead per se, but like even The Walking Dead, Daredevil, like he's such a good actor to bounce off from. Like it feels like some of the best moments from most actors, like it come from his scenes. But and another subtle thing as well is like how talented Mikey himself as a cook was. You know, when like
too much garlic,
right? Mm-hmm. Didn't even check it, didn't even do nothing.
And Carmy's like, what?
And Carmy's like, and then tastes it, and he's like,
too much garlic,
and
it felt real.
Bro, felt real, but again, it's one of those things where it's just like to your point, you know, how cooking runs in the family and how
but runs in the family, bro.
In the family, and then just shit made me cry, man.
No, there was loads of moments in season 4. I cried a lot. I cried. Yeah, man, for real.
For sure.
I love the opening scene. Manny, how did you feel in transitioning into the scene where, you know, Carmy's with Sydney?
Yeah.
And it feels tense, but it's purposefully tense because Sydney like opens up and tells him about himself for the not for the first time per se, but it felt like a quite a pertinent moment for Carmy to sort of make changes in his life.
Yeah.
How did you?
Before that, I think something that I mentioned before is that how episode 1, season 3 opens up with everything being like very chaotic, and like nothing really making sense. And everything being about the restaurant itself rather than individual dialogues and so forth, in comparison to the opener of this season, where it was a lot more calmer, slowed down, and a bit more focused, and a bit more directed with people in dialogue in mind. And I feel like that was very intentional for how the season ends up being like, with season 3 being very chaotic for the most part, people being, I guess, fragmenting rather than being a whole, in comparison to what happens in this season and to what we eventually get towards the end of episode 10. Back to your question in terms of how I felt between Carmy and Sydney's conversation, I can barely remember it.
She was basically telling him about himself, and it felt real, it felt brutal, and I think it was something that Carmy was open to hearing for the first time.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I think he would have been a bit more and a lot more defensive, and it would have been
this episode.
Episode 1, yeah, the first episode, yeah.
Yeah, because I messaged guys about it.
Yeah. Because he kind of like comes in and he does the
story. Yeah.
That's when she. I remember now.
And she even tells him like, but she didn't just tell him off. She also told him you're great.
Yeah.
And someone else does it later on in the season, which was fucking such a sick scene. Tina, you know, she's like, you're the shit, baby.
You're the shit, baby.
And I think he'd already accepted. I think season 3, episode 10, he decided he was going to leave.
Yeah.
But these other moments are all key moments in towards what happens at the end in episode 10 of season 4. Ooh. I think he decided.
I think he decided after talking to, I think it was the mum.
Really?
No, I think he did.
I feel like it was a catalyst. I feel like he knew
already mentioned before, right? Because I think, I can't remember which episode it was, but Sid had an email where it was an updated agreement.
Yeah.
And I think at that point he's already decided. And that was obviously before.
That was on episode 4, 3.
So I think
I feel like he knew ages ago, but Donna just confirmed how he felt.
Yeah, you know what the confirmation was in Scallops when he talks to Tina and Tina's trying to get the pasta done under 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah. And he sees.
And says, I can't do it. But then he sees Sid doing it in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it was that moment.
By the way, as well.
I think that moment that
she did it with so much ease that she was it was easy for her. I think it's him realizing that like this is so stressful for him, and he goes to pop his nicotine gum again.
I didn't even notice Nikki.
Ooh.
Yeah,
He's been doing it throughout season.
No, as in this is like. Also, this is a season I really liked, Carmy.
Well, yeah.
Says a lot about me.
No, it doesn't. I think you're right on.
Like character growth.
He seems like a
I
better
remember-
person.
Oh yeah, facts. Because he's trying. He's actually
Yeah.
trying.
Genuinely
But it's the gum. The gum is killing me because I feel like he wants to be an arsehole and he pops gum instead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh my goodness, this is still a drug.
What was the catalyst that made him change?
I think it's the back end of
But
season 3.
Yeah.
I think it's
that.
When he had a conversation with my guy in the restaurant.
Chef David.
Yeah.
I think part of that. I think it's just that whole situation of the bear getting a negative review, him losing Claire.
Yeah, him and Fraser, and
all-
then
all-
all that
I think
together.
all of that compiles into one thing where he's like, okay,
And he was scared that he was becoming Chef David.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. He was fear of being that person.
there were so many great moments in season 4 for me. Do you know what I loved? And I spoke to Manny about this. Yeah, it was when they were saying we can't spend any more money. Uncle Jimmy's like, we can't spend any more money. Even Computer's my guy, by the way. He's like, can't spend any more. And Richie's like, well. And Jessica and Garrett walk in. Oh my God.
The non-negotiables. I stood up.
When Jessica and Garrett walked in, I was like, my guys. Because they played such a key role in He Wears Suits.
Yeah.
They like facilitated and played a role in his transformation as a person and as a professional as well.
Yeah.
No, I loved seeing Jessica and Garrett. Highlights for you guys? What? So that's you. I know you
We're
like
doing highlights already.
highlights, but it kind of worms its way into a general conversation as well.
That's wording right there.
Come on, man.
Wormed his way because episode 4 is one of my favorites. Worms. I really like when
Episode.
they give us like episodes that can happen at any given moment in the season, which is solely focused on an individual or during the day, because I think it tells a lot more about the character, and that's what the show is mainly about.
We've had some really good ones as well. We've had Honeydew with Marcus in Copenhagen.
Yep.
We had Forks with Richie. We had Napkins. We had Ice Chips. I love Ice Chips.
Ice Chips is. I went to go watch it again the other day and I was like, wow.
I love Ice Chips.
I managed to give it a spin, but Worms I really like because when I was watching a video of what's the name of the guy that plays Marcus?
Lionel Boyce.
But his thing is up, isn't it?
Sorry.
Yeah. So Lionel was talking about how Ayo was messaging him about writing this episode, blah 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 blah. And I already knew the episode was
You could tell it was a black written episode.
That's the most black episode throughout. Yeah, and it was nice to see that side of Chicago as well, even with just like her cousin, even the conversation they had in terms of like, I got a Saturday in 3 weeks off, we can go out. It's just nice to see Sydney outside of
Be a human being.
Yeah, man,
yeah,
like
for sure.
Because it's one thing that's easy to forget because the show is so intense that even I know they're not real, even these characters,
They might as well be.
Yeah, they have a life outside of the kitchen, so it's nice to have like a predominantly a conversation or an episode where it wasn't based about the kitchen or her work, even though she was going through the dilemma of whether to stay or whether to leave, and the whole conversation that she had with the little cousin
TJ.
And there's
Perfection.
that line which is she's saying that I want to go to this house, that house, but in this house is that brother. And then the little girl's like, oh, you got a crush. It's like, nope, it's not. It's not that. It's like, see, you niggas trying to ship them. It's not happening.
Bro,
it's
that's
never
what I'm saying.
happening. You see, I recorded it. I was so happy. It's like it's never going to happen.
And she was also like, "Oh, the house has got a faint stink, but I can't. But you can't. I kind of like the stink.
I think it was what does the little girl say? It's like you don't own the house, or was that it's not your house?
Yeah.
Actually.
Your house to fix.
And I think everything about that was just like, I'm glad that she had the conversation with a child.
Yeah.
I think it was like that's what made the conversation really great. I'm glad she didn't have it with her actual cousin.
Daniel Deadweiler was brilliant, by the way.
I did have some qualms with
Really?
Yeah, it's a small one. It's like a real minor one.
Go on.
It's just the way black women are written sometimes, yeah?
Okay.
It's like, it's because the talking out your neck thing.
Mhm.
It can be quite jarring because it's not always the case.
Sure.
And I think Ayo's character as the rebuttal to that as a person or like, as a concept, yeah. It's like, Ayo's character is like this broke, free-spirited chef, and this is like a young mum who doesn't keep to time and does hair, and I did it. I thought, oh.
But it was written by those two.
Yeah, but sometimes it's still quite
Sure,
a
but
tiny bit
do you not think that was very realistic?
to a certain degree, but it's not always that realistic. I don't get my hair done by an African American because I don't actually know.
Fair.
But I think sometimes it can be just a tiny bit. It's like I said, it's a minor issue in the grand schemes of everything. Is a huge minor.
Who brought this girl to this pod today, bro? Huh? I'm playing with you, my daughter. I'm playing with you.
That's what I have to say.
You know, episode 4 was really, really enjoyable. You know when like kids can make something so simple sometimes. They're just like life is black. It's just this or this.
Yeah, sleepover or no sleepover.
Really,
That's what I loved about it.
really it's not, but sometimes it can be, and I think that's what was great about TJ's character. They were able to relate. Not similar issues, but there were similarities in their problems with friendship groups and so on and so forth. It was just really cool to see like a different side to Sydney's character that we hadn't necessarily seen before, man. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, quite funny as well, because like I feel like this season as well focused a lot on Sid as well. Like she had a lot of screen time, mainly because like is she gonna stay or is she gonna leave as well?
I do think they dragged it.
I think they dragged it a bit.
I'm not complaining. It's just like a little drag.
I don't think it was drunk to me because I feel like it felt realistic. Because I feel like this is actually
That
fighting
reaction
for
as
her
well.
life.
What a fucking dick.
Oh, Adam Shapiro? Well, I could tell he was a piece of shit from that episode.
From that episode when she kind of like, and he played.
He's played,
DMX,
yeah.
I was just.
And she changed it to Beethoven. I was like, yeah, you're a G.
And then I was in my head, I was just thinking, oh, he's just one of those white guys who like these performative like.
Oh, he's super
It was
performative.
the hair appointment one that annoyed the hell out of me. Him being like, just come after the hair appointment and like being like, oh, it's fine. Oh, just move the hair appointment. I was thinking, shut up.
And then she goes like, oh, it's not gonna be like an hour or two.
Yeah.
And he goes, what? Like an all day thing?
Yes.
Off, man.
Yes.
Off. Like
I think the word.
he ain't been hanging around niggas for real.
No,
like,
but I think
that's how you know.
no. I
That's
think
how you
more
know.
so. I think more so the word is performative though.
Yeah.
Like a lot of his actions to try and get Sid to join him at his new restaurant was all performative.
Or even like the kitchen layout.
He may have given her license to do X, Y, and Z, but I think all of his positiveness and niceness was performative because we saw once he decided not to join him, we saw his true reactions and he truly feels in his whole day, you're messing up. This is going to be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
But sometimes the grass isn't always greener. Sometimes it's just not. And I think I don't want to jump because there's so much to talk about, but episode 7 was like, I think that was a big catalyst for Sydney staying.
Same.
Because I think that episode and that wedding made her feel like a bear.
Yeah.
I felt like a Berzato.
Underneath.
Do your thing, man.
Underneath.
Alright, it's been beautiful.
Can't do 5 more. Let's talk about this episode.
Okay,
Yeah,
this episode. Do you
Speak
know
freely,
what?
my king.
Yeah, you know, one guy's done, you go off.
No, there were so many beautiful moments in the episode. This episode felt like the antithesis of Fishes. It felt like this was, it was built up to be the chaotic, manic thing. And it wasn't that per se, but we still got glimpses of it through Francie and Natalie, which was great because we don't see that from Natalie.
Yeah.
So Natalie being the catalyst for that was great because it's not you. This isn't normally you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I learned something about you. You like Francie. Oh, Pete learned as well. We all learned at the same time. But the episode was actually quite calm and sweet and loving and joyful.
Yeah.
And there were just so many great like one-to-one interactions. What was your favourite?
Richie and Sid outside, the cigarette, and she's just like, no. I say no to Richie that moment. But also, one of my favourite moments is underneath the table when Carmy's kind of like, he doesn't want to come underneath, and they're all like, sit fucking ass. It's the passive aggressive swearing at each other. Yeah. Or also, what fax is it? Which one is it? Is it Neil?
Ted's the one with the girlfriend.
Yeah. Him being like, I want to tell her I love her. I don't know what I was
Yeah.
But it was just so funny because I was like, you mess.
This
Like,
season, I mean, I've always
facts
loved the
were the
fact.
best.
The facts were great.
But this season, I'm so sorry.
you didn't spell me.
Just defo sprayed you, but it's fine.
But yeah, this season the facts were like
Yeah.
on point.
That was their
owning a comedy strike.
that was their Super Bowl. That was their Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was their Super Bowl. That was so good. Like Neil and Ted especially. Oh, they killed me, man. They are so funny.
For real.
One of my favorite moments was I can't remember which episode it was, but like where they got the snow machine.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that and then go back to Bears. Fun. That was really good.
That was.
That's when they got their rating as well. Or the whoever was judging them.
Whoever was judging them and then whatnot. I was just like, oh man, that is. So
But it was natural. It was natural for Richie to go out of his way to make that happen, to be resourceful, to use the facts because the facts are useful.
Yeah.
The facts are so useful for the.
The floating has also got me. Like,
Yeah.
the facts are so funny.
But I think importantly, I spoke to you about it, Manny. Importantly, this is when Carmy let go
Yeah.
Yeah.
and let everyone just do what they're good at. He set the menu.
Yeah, the minute the menu was set, I was like,
The minute the menu was set.
Carmy's actually dipping. Like, he's actually toodles. Or very, like, just relinquish control. Like, you guys do your thing. That's the way it is.
And I think that allowed everyone to just be better at what they do. Bringing in Chef Luca was just great as well.
So Chef Luca was. So there's a
Here we
really
go.
funny moment, yeah. We see Chef Luca and Thingy's friend, yeah.
Oh, when they meet for the first time.
when he got jealous.
No, I was watching it, yeah, like literally just now, yeah. I was laughing because I was like, this shit is so fucking funny. Because he brings it up for no reason, being like, oh, I'm gonna go meet so and so, and he's like,
You're lying.
you're not. Like, why are you bullshitting?
But it's the scene before that when he's talking to Sid and he goes, I just didn't know he was going to be that sexy.
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't
No, but the
know,
fact he
man.
said sexy was what was so funny, bro.
Yeah,
I was saying to the guys that they wrote the scenes with Luca and Marcus very homoerotic.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
feel
what
that much.
Bro, there was one time they say, how does it taste like? And then
They're eating food.
no, come on, bro.
I didn't buy it
And then
either.
was like, what was it say? What did he
I think
say?
it's subtle. I don't think
I
they
don't think
were
it's,
like.
I think food as a whole is quite erotic anyway. Talking about food is erotic. So there's two men. It's gonna
even
be
from
erotic.
season 2, like their scenes were like very intimate.
Yeah.
Not sexual, just very intimate.
Yeah.
I think this one is intimate as always, but I think they added in like some words to make it more homoerotic.
I just think food as a whole is super erotic. I think because they're just in close proximity and they're making desserts.
Because Carmy did the same thing with Sid. Like he's like,
Yeah.
she's like, how does it taste? Are we gonna say that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just felt.
I don't see it.
I
It felt erotic,
didn't say
full
it with the comments anything though.
Exactly.
Because you're so against that ship, you won't even see if it's right.
No,
they could be fucking on screen, you won't even see it.
No, I would just be like, Sydney, why?
No, it just feels
No.
as a whole. Food feels really erotic. That's all it was for me. But that conversation right there, too funny.
How does it taste
Jokes, jokes, guys, man.
I like it.
Back to the Bear
Yeah.
or Bears episode 7.
Loved it.
So many great conversations. So many like subtle moments. Even Tiff and cousin Michelle in bed together. Like we just learned so many like different things about the characters within the hour episode. Uncle Lee and Carmy.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, same.
Go on, all yours.
Same. Even when you first came in, it's like, what the hell are you doing here?
I didn't know, but it felt real. He's like, what the fuck? Who the fuck are you?
And then he said, "Who invited you?" Like,
Yeah.
he said, "What are you doing here?" Then he was like, then he said some snarky ass answer. He was like, "Wait, no, clarification. Why are you actually here?"
Yeah.
He
Perfect.
was like, yeah, well, your mum invited me. But wait, we're just friends. And then him talking about, but me and Mikey, before he passed away, we got close. And said, and then he said something online because I stopped trying to be his father. When essentially became friends. And I thought that was such a nice touch to also highlight Mikey as a character, even with stuff that he said in episode 10. I don't know if you got to that part yet. But just to highlight who he was, especially coming towards the end of his life. And just the interactions and friendships that he actually made before he passed away. So the interaction with Uncle Lee, it was really shocking to me. I did not expect that because you can tell that Uncle Lee's a prick.
Yeah, he is a prick. But like he doesn't hide it either.
He doesn't. He's very much who he is, but his highlights like all the characters. They all have shittiness within them, but at the core of it, they are actually good people that want the best for themselves and the people around them. Sometimes you just don't know how to showcase that. And I think Uncle Lee's scene with Carmy kind of highlighted that to a T. It's like, I'm shitty, but I love your mum as my friend.
Yeah.
And I want the best for her, and I think you should go see her as well, which also leads to him going to see her.
But he
too.
doesn't even say it though, right? And then like
No, he doesn't.
No, he says it. Well, Uncle Lee doesn't say it. That's the thing.
He says
it, but he doesn't say it.
No, he says, I wouldn't be the one to. He starts to when he stops.
Yeah, and he stops,
Yeah.
and then like Carmy thanks him for like, thanks for not
Yeah.
telling me to go see her. Like I know what you're trying to do, but like no, that was beautiful. Like on kind of like on that episode as well. I think the most beautiful interaction was like Uncle Jimmy and Tiff at the end.
Yeah,
because she was
the
talking
dance.
about like how like thanks to the Bears for even being here and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like her family, none of her family.
Made me laugh. I was thinking, how fucked up is your family? The Bears.
That the
family-
that's what I was
Bears?
thinking. That's what I was thinking. And then at the same time, I was just like, wow, like I can't remember if it was in the same episode or later on where they mentioned that like almost all of the Bizarro family members, like they are so sensitive but feel things so deeply at the same time. And I feel like episode 7 just kind of like showed that with everyone, like all the people that they love, even Richie with Frank, where like Frank,
He lied to him, but for the sake of good.
for the sake of good. And then that was a funny moment as well. But even then,
Oh, when Claire was like, "Is that true?"
Yeah,
He's like, "Fuck no."
no. but even shows like how, because we haven't seen much of Frank before that, right? But Frank is such a good dude as well. Like he has so much respect for Richie, where it's like, yo, I know that you're her real dad. And then I love the little corrections every time he talks about the father-daughter dance.
Yeah.
And he goes, stepfather-daughter dance. Because he's like, I don't want to
Overstep
type shit and whatnot. And I
They were both insecure,
Yeah.
but obviously Richie kind of like lied a bit, but like it was still sweet that like, you know, they both have an insecurity
and Richie
about.
needed to hear that as well, like from Frank,
Yeah.
to be like, yo, like every time you drop her off, all she does is talk about you, and he's like, raw, because like I think before Forks, or even during Forks, like he has that fear where he's like
Gonna be left behind.
He's like, he's getting left behind and stuff like that. Nah,
I think the scene under the table was really cool because and really powerful and poignant because it explored what I think the whole season was about, was like tackling your fears and growth. Like these characters aren't the same people that we knew them when we first met them in like season 1 episode 1, and they were all, even Carmy, when he's like, he said his fear and then he had to like find another one, but he still expressed himself.
Yeah, it's the opposite of chaos. Peace. So math.
and even like one thing I'm gonna say, Claire feels like a real character.
Oh yeah. I'm not man enough to anymore.
Carmy, you've got my blessing.
I was never mad, but like I'm glad that she's gotten the writing she deserves.
Yeah.
And I think it makes more sense for the people saying like, oh, I feel like season 3 felt like half of a full season.
Oh yeah.
Because now when you put everything in context together, it's just like, okay, you can see where the building blocks were for her to become a fully actual character.
She told him to fuck off. Like she listened to him and she was like, you can't just come back into my life.
Yeah.
Just like that, you need to work on yourself. And the fact that he went to the wedding was a signal to her.
Wedding, and went to go see his mum as well.
Yeah.
And then calling her. Do you know it's also he's a piece of shit because he made sure that just so you know, not only am I a better person, I'm going to see like confront my demons head on. I was like, oh boo! But I still love Carmy.
I want to get my boo back,
Put that in
man.
the past, haven't you?
You piece of shit.
Man said that hit too close to home.
I think the poignant thing about episode 7 is Frank is a bear, Tiff is a bear. Cousin Stephen was hilarious in this episode, by the way. He's a bear.
Cousin Stephen, who
Played by John Mulaney.
Oh,
He did such a good job.
He was really good.
Also, he's got such a
so
funny
funny.
voice. Like,
Yeah.
no matter what he says, it will always be hilarious.
He's one of my
when
favourites.
that one conversation with the facts and Pete, and he goes, "What the fuck do you not understand about this Pete?"
Yeah.
Like, of course, why would you want to get a picture that
He was
you only
great.
own a piece of? I was like, oh, this guy, man, he's playing into
He was
them.
great.
The fact that he's back, he's doing it for banter. He's
Yeah,
showing
he's
it.
a banter.
But he loves the bizarre.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
bear.
He loves it.
The
He
facts are bears. Claire bear. Claire's a bear. And it kind of makes us all feel like bears. Like I feel like I'm part of the.
Yeah.
It's cheesy. It might sound corny, but I actually feel like I'm kind of like one of them.
Yeah, no, I hate you.
So,
Yeah, especially like when they're all taking the pictures at the end under the table. You're just like, I might as well put me in it. Yeah, I'm there.
No, do you know? I don't know if it was meant to stand out, but when Carmy's about to say his fear, then he gets interrupted because Marcus and the rest of the facts come in underneath. I feel like he changed his answer a bit.
He did.
Like, yeah, and it's just like,
What do you think he was gonna say?
I feel like he was going to bring up the fact that I don't know, I haven't watched episode 10 yet, so I don't know, but obviously Shapiro calls him in it. So I feel like he kind of knows something's happening here, but doesn't really know it. And I feel like he's constantly on edge and wants to tell Sydney that he knows something, but doesn't want to say it. I feel like he was going to allude to it at that moment in time, started speaking, because it was Sydney that asked him, like, what's your fear? And then it's like, okay, something that they didn't know that I know. Like, they know that I'm not a peaceful person. They know I'm a chaotic. So what's that? Okay, joke.
But they made a joke about it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really liked episode 7. Any other standouts? Episode 9 was fucking, man, when he goes to see mum.
I'm not sold on Donna being a better person.
What?
It's not.
You're not.
I'm not. I don't know.
I mean, okay, maybe she's not a bad person, but you can see her trying.
I feel like
I think that's.
I think her journey is kind of similar to Carmy's. Like I don't look at Carmy as a bad person. I look at him as a person and knows
He's making an
he's messed
effort.
up and he's making an effort.
I think Carmy season 4 is a better person.
But then I think the two go kind of hand in hand, like because you.
More of Carmy actually doing
Yeah,
those
she
steps to
battles,
be
yeah.
better. But I think her. Sorry to interrupt,
go on.
but like, so
have to leave in 5
that's
seconds.
actually, yeah, I actually do. Like, so just on my last point to Donna being better, like when she's reading out her apology to him, I thought that was like a real moment.
Do you know? I think before that, it's when episode 3 when she's in the house with Uncle Jimmy's house and she's trying to sell it.
Yeah.
And you can just see like how committed she is to the act of getting this right. Where to the point she's even overthinking it, she's stressing herself, but you can see like there's an effort to committing yourself to one thing and doing it right, which is a sign that someone's making progress. Doesn't mean you're the better person yet, doesn't mean you're the final finished version of yourself, because we never are. But the steps to get there are, for me, what make people better people in the first instance, rather than the fully transformed version at the end.
The effort itself makes her a better person.
But any other, I mean, episode 9 for me was it was interesting because it's like 4 seasons of waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
And even though Carmy had seen the progress that she had made in episode 7 when he sees her, and Uncle Lee tells him she's better, Natalie tells him like she wants to see you, he was still like very much reluctant. But I think within, you know, when you have moments to yourself as a person when you're like, I don't want to do this, and then you're like, I have to do this. He had that moment, he had that realization that he had to go see her to like conquer one of his other fears, which is seeing his mum, innit? And he's been doing it throughout the season. He's been doing things where he's like, I don't normally do this, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna change the menu, I'm gonna set it. He made constant and very clear decisions. And I think this was like the biggest one for him. And when he made her the dinner, because all she had heard prior was, he's the best.
Yeah.
He's the best chef. He's such a good cook. Your son is so talented. But she'd never been able to experience it for herself, which is her fault. But the fact she got to experience it for herself and actually, rather than just hear about it, actually experience it, made me feel something.
Just him cooking for her, like, even him being like, are you hungry? That's when I realised that Carmy actually needs to go see the lady. Like, he needs to go really talk through things completely, because your mom just pulled out her heart to you, and like, you kind of just sat there and cried. You don't know how to process it properly, and your almost immediate reaction is like, so, anyone eaten? And it's just like, Carmy, I want a tiny bit more from you, but not too much, because you still need to grow a bit more. And I think that was just like almost him, not forgiving her, but him being like, I can feel that you're better.
I teared up, man.
Yeah, it's like, I can feel that you're better. So, yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, when she was talking, I kissed my teeth at one point. I thinking,
It's still trying to work through it. There's been a lot of times where in this season, I think most of Carmy trying to like apologise, but his approach to apologising is a bit Carmy.
he's his mother's son. That's what it is. Like.
But I get it. The intention is there, and I think one thing that made me realise about not just this season, or made me realise what Carmy's still grieving, and I think that's what the bet actually is for Carmy, is his grief, is his inability to let go, and I think it's only taken up to this season where it's finally starting to essentially forgive himself for with how he acted on the back of Mikey's death, and actually be able to let go of the fact and understand the fact that his brother's actually gone. Because the main reason why he's at the bear is because his brother gave him told him to like to take over the business, and it's something that him and his brother spoken about before. So I think this whole thing has been a thing about grief and letting go. So it's nice to see how. I don't want to say too much because episode 10 you haven't watched it.
Yeah.
You can room for me, I don't really mind.
No, I watched it for yourself.
Okay, cool.
It's really special. I think it might be one of my top.
The acting from
Okay, one thing, Jeremy Allen White, I know he's fantastic, and I know this, but this season,
special.
I was just blown because he didn't say much. He wasn't the lead this season, so I was like, "Yo, he's really good at this."
Special.
Yeah.
Like everything he did, I was just like, "You're making me stressed out right now," because he's stressed out.
Yeah.
Or that one scene with him, Richie, we spoke about earlier, in Scallops when it's all blue. Yeah, that right there when he's like,
You still moping?
Richie's so funny.
You still moping?
No, Richie's killing me, yeah, because Richie's so he uses therapy jargon all the time, and it's so funny. He'll be like, it's performative.
Yeah.
Like,
Is that the video I sent you?
Maybe.
If I didn't send the video I recorded that very scene.
So fun. Like, even when he was talking about his daughter to his ex-wife, yeah, being like,
Oh my days.
he was like,
That was
Yeah.
I was like, Richie is so like,
I'm
he's
trying
like,
to
yeah,
she's 7 years old.
he's
That was
like-
so funny.
he's trying to be a better person, but he just knows loads of therapy jargon. And he's hitting us constantly with therapy jargon.
Yeah.
But I love it because
He's doing too much reading. He's reading too much.
Yeah, but all he's doing is reading, no practice, and that's the only time for him to practice. And the practice is on like his child.
And I think that's why he keeps messing up. You know, when they're doing inspirational talks before they
Yeah.
go out to work for the evening. Yeah, he's always like trying to think of the right thing to say. And sometimes it's like, let it rip, fuck it.
Yeah.
let's go. Like, and I think he did that for one of the like speeches, just like.
And then also
It's
applauding.
one of the facts. When he's like, oh, I don't feel like I belong here, and him being like,
This is your home, bro.
yeah, and then it'd be like, hell yeah, like, and his response wasn't even like a motivational one. It was like, fuck yeah.
It was real.
And it was like, this is actually the best speech he could have ever given anyone. If he did that before any of that doors open, it would have been perfect.
Because it's the positive side of Richie, but also the wiser side of Richie. It's not him just trying to be this wise guy who's well read. It's like it's both. It's both of who he is.
Brilliant.
Do you know the scene in episode 1? There's so many things that I forget. It's when they're doing the maths for the bear, yeah, and then obviously Carmy's bad at maths, innit? As
all bad at maths.
No, but Carmy is so. Do you know that's one of my favourite parts that they do in the bear, yeah. When, the little back and forth, yeah. I love the shouting scenes. It's the only show I like when they shout, yeah.
Okay.
But it's like when Carmy says something wrong and they all like in chorus correct him, or something happens and it's correction. They did it again in the Bears,
Francie.
and like just there's loads of that.
Francie and Natalie.
I love it. It's my favourite thing, yeah. But in
them
that
two in
scene,
sync.
that was so
Definitely
fucking
sisters.
funny. That was so funny. Like him just being like, yeah, 20% or 30%. No.
No,
Comedy. I was laughing straight away.
this was the funniest and the most heartfelt.
This is the best
I think
season.
it's the best.
I think it's the best
I haven't
season.
watched episode 10 yet.
And
So
I think that might be my favorite episode.
I'm not mad at you.
also it really is the best season then.
I think
I've already watched 9 and I'm already saying it's the best season.
I'm gonna put 10 ahead of Forks.
Okay, so it might be good.
It's good.
Oh, I wish you didn't tell me that. I don't want to go in and know
sure.
that. Fuck. I'm gonna
You
go.
might feel something different.
I really like the Bears, but also I enjoyed Scallops a lot.
I
Like
just
a
got
lot,
an
so-
episode.
I enjoyed that. Groundhog was really good in season 4. Tonato. So that was
Sophie, I like all the episodes.
Can we play a quick game with you? Can we play a game?
my baby Sophie.
When she brought see, you know what I love about that
The
episode?
kids this season.
Oh yeah, top tier.
Honestly, the best writing ever.
But do you know what I love
So dope.
about that episode so much is because Carmy calls Sugar to apologize for the fact that he hasn't seen his niece yet. And then Sugar thinks he's talking about the restaurant.
Yes.
It's like what? Like no, what? Wait, I'm not talking about the composer. I'm apologizing because I haven't seen your daughter yet.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, but you've been busy. I know, but it's not right. I need to come and visit. Blah blah blah, so on and so forth. Conversation ends. So instead of her waiting for Carmy to go and visit her,
Yeah.
she brings the baby
Finds
to
the
the
middle
restaurant.
ground.
And when I was like, Sugar is
That's
you're
what
MVP.
she is my guy.
Sugar, you're
No,
an
but
MVP,
do you know
bro.
what? I want season 5. I want Sugar to be a terrible person.
No, man, why?
I'm sorry, man.
What's wrong with you,
because
man?
Why is Sugar always bending the wheel for everyone else? Like she's always just so like
Instead
mindful.
of being a bad person, she needs to get something good to happen. Like,
But we got that in episode 7, I think, when she has her thing with Frank. Like I think
I don't think she has a crush on Fran.
they used to be together. They used to do a thing.
they were literally. And I was about to say something crazy.
They were sister sisters. How can I lose?
All right, and we've been the Postcreditscene Podcast. Lovers of film, TV, and theatre. Shout out guys in the building, money in the film.
No, them two will definitely chop it out though.
No, but that was her. Like we got to see her be like a piece of shit, or like at least vent her frustration with somebody.
Yeah.
Like for once, so I think I've seen enough of it.
But she missed. And the thing that's back, that frustration wasn't like they dislike each other. Like they still very much care for each other. They're just like there's a lot of emotion.
By the way, Brie Larson, she might as well have been in the rest of the season. She slotted in seamlessly.
Because all you have to be is
every
chaotic.
character, the only character that's been added to the show that hasn't, John Cena.
Oh yeah, that was.
I was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm never going to see him again.
Yeah.
I kind of miss him.
John Cena.
A tiny bit. I just not like
That was
just
cool.
a smidge. But I just love the fact, so I'm always gonna miss that.
I love the
That's
fact.
what it is.
I love that the dynamics because I love the facts.
Yeah.
But that could have been anybody else.
But the fact that to be a fact, you just kind of have to be a bit insane. Yeah.
But Francine, I really
Francine
like
was
that character.
so
The guest
funny.
appearance. The Bear rarely misses with the guest appearances,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, they do a really.
What's your game you want to do?
Okay, it's a game for you. Could you give us top 5 episodes of The Bear, including season 4?
Oh gosh, me man. Oh,
One-liners as to why each episode you're putting it in.
that is hard.
You have to
Okay,
start with your 5th place.
that's on the spot. All right, cool. Number 5 is. All right, let's be quicker. Number 5 is The Bear,
Okay.
season 2, episode 10. I think it culminates a fantastic season of TV. It leaves things on the edge because we don't know what's going to happen in season 3. Shot beautifully. Some of those scenes with Carmy and Richie on the opposite sides of the threes are beautiful. Sydney takes charge and kind of lays the foundations for what happens at some point later on in the series, without spoilers. Number 4 is Napkins, season 3, episode 6. Tina, Mikey. Any scene Mikey's in, it feels so heartfelt and real. He's a great supporting actor. And Liza Zayas, make sure I get her name right. She's so super talented. Number 3 might be Bears.
There we go. No, you're right. Don't overthink it. That's what you've given. Because you're correct.
Can I start again?
No. The Bears?
No, Bears is right. I want to change my 5th.
No.
Fuck you.
I love how we both said no. Yeah. I got the smoke.
Sorry, kids.
No, don't apologise. It's fine. No one cares.
Yeah, Bears. Bears because it's like Fishes, but the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it shows character growth and how they've evolved as people, while still giving us what we know of these people. They are tapped.
Yeah.
Still gave us that. Number 2 is man.
Number 2 Forks.
Yeah, it is, man. But I'm not sure how I feel about this ranking, because you can't clip this because I don't like this. Yeah, number 2 is Forks and number 1's Fishes. But I feel like I should have episode 10 in here of season 4. I can't lie to you.
Breathe, it's fine.
No, I want to change, man.
No.
I'm changing, man. So, kids, at number 5, I do have season 4, episode 10. Because, and the reason why,
Goodbye.
the reason why, Io, Jeremy Allen White, and Ebon Moss Backrack, some of the best acting that's been done in the entire series.
You know the only thing that I think that could have made the episode better was if it was a one shot.
I need to watch this episode. Fucking hell.
It could have been.
Yeah.
Oh, because they cut some scenes. Yeah, it could have been. Yeah.
There are some moments in the bed that I wish were short at once.
Kids said we need to hurry up, so we should keep talking.
Yeah, exactly. I was ignoring him.
I think we only had one episode that's a one shot, innit?
Yeah.
That was like
But those-
episode 7 of season 1?
Okay, so my definitive ranking, yeah.
Yeah.
Napkins, season 3, episode 6. Number 4 is season 4, episode 10. Number 3 is Bears. Number 2 is Forks. Number 1 is Fishes.
I think those, that's not my order, but I think those are my 5 as well.
On the spot, that's a good response.
Yeah. I think that's my 5.
But imagine missing
Mine
out.
would be-
Imagine missing out like Honeydew. That's crazy.
It's fine. Like,
Bro.
iShip should have been in there, but that's fine.
Oh, shit.
Ice Ships,
I should
Honeydew.
do that.
What's the episode 7 of season 1? Review. Yeah.
When she fucks up the
She stabs Richie.
Oh yeah.
Guys, let's give our ranking for season. Alright, let's do this quick task. One last task. Ranking for season 4. I mean, in terms of score, and then I rank season 1 to 4.
Okay.
So, what's your score for season 4 first?
Out of 10,
9.5.
out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 9.
9.5.
But I think it's great.
But I think, you know what, let me come down. Let me
I'm a 9.
Go 9. Let me go 9.
I'm a 9. 9 out of 10.
You went a 9 as well.
Yeah. What's your ranking? 1 to 4.
4, 2, 1, 3.
Yeah.
4, 2, 1, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Post-creditscene podcast. Kiz is fucking being a fucking miserable CUNT. So we need to get out of here. We are the Post-creditscene podcast, 14 HQ original, lovers of film, TV and theatre. Hope you've enjoyed today's experience. We gave you a dual sort of experience. F1, The Bear. Make sure you go check them out. Make sure you check us out as well on all platforms.
Hit subscribe and leave us comments on Spotify. We'll read them out next week if you leave them.
Yes, sir.
And we'll also read out some comments as well. Why not, man? We love you.
Like, not everyone, like Josh, sorry, bro.
No.
I've run out.
Yeah, watch the episode, Lisa.
Yeah, actually. I can watch it. I want to watch it on the TV screen.
Needs a piss. Fair bet.
What's everyone up to today?
Absolutely nothing. I was meant to go to my friend's house, but because we changed the times, it's like I need to message her actually, so I'm not coming anymore.
Video doesn't
Oh,
end.
yeah. Half an hour, nothing. I'm still going home.
Same. I'm actually really excited to go home.
Okay. 20-30 seconds.
I actually cannot wait to be in my home.
Can I take lights and all
Yeah,
that?
you can pack out and just like in like 20 seconds.
I just wish we were closer to South.
Bro, I wish we could concentrate East.
Yeah, it's something I can't agree with.
Hi, I'm Lashana Lynch, and you are listening to the Post Credit Scene podcast.